Hey, everybody, welcome back to the 3 Star Podcast. We are here tonight live for our very first actual episode number 1 of the show. Not the prequel episode anymore. We're live and rolling. My name is Eric. I'm the moderator. You can find me on Twitter at EricGel. Right below me is Mr. Get Some himself on Twitter, Brandon. In the bottom left-hand corner, you got the Crimson Saint, Tony. And in the top left corner, you've got the good doctor himself, Damon. Before we get started on tonight's podcast, we got a little bit of house cleaning to do since it's our very first episode. We've already got some changes maybe coming your way, but we'll let Tony talk about that a little bit and let you know what's going on. So, Tony, take it away.
All right. So if anyone's been following our social media, you've seen that it says possibly the last show, the first show, the last show. How are we going to quit before we even get started? Well, we're not necessarily quitting. Basically, what we're doing is we're talking about doing a rebranding and getting some things together and just putting out a more, I don't want to say professional product, but just something that we can really get behind and just, roll the dice on, see what happens. So our first guest is what, 2 weeks from now, Eric? Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, 2 weeks from now. It's the same night as the first night of the NFL draft.
That's when we'll record it, but it'll probably be the day after where we release, yes.
Well, we're dropped, yeah. So we'll have Thomas Adams, retired professional wrestler from Northeast Ohio, Salem, Ohio to be exact. And on that night, hopefully we will be debuting our new logos, our new name, and everything else that goes along with it. So just kind of wanted to put that out there. Not leave you guys in too much suspense, but just something that we have in the works, and get ready because I don't see this slowing down anytime soon.
I don't full distinction too, like you don't have to worry about unsubbing or resubbing to any different channels or Twitters or anything like that. It's just a name change and a little bit of rebranding, but nothing else changes. So
yeah, so as long as you're subscribed, you're good to go.
Yeah,
right. Should we plug our stuff right now just to kind of let everybody know where to go, or
why your goofy ass on my phone?
Sure, Mr. Moderator, go ahead, buddy.
All right, well, like I said, as of right now, you can still find us on Facebook at 3 Star Pod and on Twitter at 3 Star Podcast 1. Find us there. Also, obviously, if you're here, you're on the YouTube channel, so you're good to go there. So hit that subscribe button, and we'll have more info on all this stuff going forward. To start tonight's show,
brother,
it's been a week. We've had a week off. Got to get back in the groove here,
guys.
But hey, episode 1.
To start.
Yeah. To start the show, I thought we would maybe just kind of. We really hit wrestling hard last week due to WrestleMania week. We did all the reviews for those shows. So if you want to check those out, go to the channel and you'll find those there. So we thought that tonight, we don't want to be a podcast that's just completely about wrestling. We want to be about movies, sports, video games, whatever we find interesting. We want to talk about skits, doing all these other videos. We're going to do some trailer reactions too that'll be up on the channel this week. But we want to branch out a little bit. So we thought we'd start tonight off with starting with some different subjects besides pro wrestling. We will get into pro wrestling before the night's out. But what we thought we'd talk about a little bit about the life and career of rapper DMX, who tragically lost his life a little over a week ago or so. Had a heart attack, ended up going on... I don't know.
He was on life support.
Life support, thank you. And then I guess they took him off life support. He fought for a little while, and I guess he succumbed eventually. But what are your all's memories of DMX and your life experiences with his music, movies, whatever it might be?
Arf, arf, arf.
So like for me, I still remember the day I came home. It was like the day I came home from school, and this was like BT was, BT did music. And so Rap City was on. And
I remember Rap City.
Yeah. And so like I come in the house.
I'm too young for that shit.
First time I heard the Rough Rider anthem. And it was like right before summer hit too. And I remember just banging that song out every time it played. And I believe that was the first CD I bought too. And I remember after, it all caught traction. So everybody, when they would draw R's, they drew them like they did on the Rough Rider album for like ever. But like to me, one of my favorite albums of DMX's was the Great Depression. There was 2 songs on there that I would listen to all the time. But one of them resonated with me and still does now. And the song's called Slippin'. If you've never heard it,
great song. Yeah.
And through all his albums, though, the Ballad of Damien has always been one of my favorite songs too.
So on every one of his albums, he has some type of interlude, skit, speech, whatever it is, with God. And actually, I was listening to one of his interviews today with Dr. Phil, to be exact, which was kind of crazy because out of, I think how many studio albums did he have? 7 total, I believe. Only 3. I think it was 7 or 8 studio albums. He said each one of them had a conversation with God in it, but also there was 3 that he had a conversation with the devil. And it wasn't that he was, with the devil, or, the devil was, what he supported or any shit like that. It's just that, just like you talk with God, if you're going to say God is there, then you got to also, acknowledge that the devil is real too.
Right.
And so it's just his conversation. And honestly, I believe he was getting into pastoral things too, as he was before he passed, right?
I read that too.
So, I mean, it could just go to show you that just because, you've been in jail, you've been on drugs or anything else, that doesn't mean that,
your life is over.
Right. Shit's hard, man. Life is hard. And people go down many different paths, but that does not mean that they're, and I don't know what anyone's religious belief is. And that's one thing we said we wasn't going to get into, but the dude was deep. Motherfucker was he was just deep, man. And I really respect him for that. And he's laid out some great songs. There's songs that are going to last long after he's gone. And he also gave us Eve, the girl with the tiger paws on the titties. Yeah. So,
hey, yo, Belly was a good movie.
Belly
was a good movie. And wasn't
all the shit he did with Romeo Must Die.
Romeo Must Die. I was just about to say, with Jet Li.
Man.
My favorite movie was Exit Wounds with Steven Seagal.
Yes, that's a good one too.
To me, it's underrated, but yeah.
Yeah, very much.
Well, real quick, one of my favorite quotes from the song Slippin', and if you know it, then you know, which was, to live is to suffer, and to suffer is to find meaning in the living. That is something like legitimately that I have said before, and that I have really stuck with. Because everybody goes through something, and they're like everything. And when you think you're at your lowest, and you think, why am I here? But you got to realize, like, you got to find something in life that has meaning to you, even when you're at your lowest, and you keep pushing forward. And that's essentially what that was. To live is to suffer, and suffer is to find meaning in the living. And it's just, to me, that was the cold quote.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really know. I mean, everybody knows I'm not the biggest music guy, and for our listeners, now you do. But I mean, in high school, even when I listened to most of the music I grew up with and everything, it was very hard to miss a DMX album when it came out. I mean, it was just always so popular amongst everybody I knew, and I mean, great beats, great songs. I mean, what else could you say? The guy was unparalleled in his profession.
Was a real lyricist too, for real. Like DMX, if you listen to his songs, the beats are catchy, but especially some of his more meaningful and deep songs. Like when I say they was deep, like the song he did about his grandma dying and shit. Like it's, to me, DMX, you're right, was a very underrated rapper, but at the same time, at the height of his career, there wasn't too many people that would like, and that's just real. I mean, think about what he did for New York, where he's from, Brooklyn, I believe. Yeah. Or no, the Bronx. My bad. He did a lot, charity wise and everything else. Like, it's just it's sad to see someone like that, gone now or whatever. But like,
especially at such a young age.
Yeah, everybody has their demon. You know what I'm saying? And some of them, you battle through, you come out the other end, and it makes you stronger. But there's always that chance.
Look, man, I mean, you said he died from a heart attack, and he did, but it was from an overdose, man. Let's not try and fucking play that shit over.
Yeah,
the man had demons. The man
everybody
had
has their demons,
and that shit caught him. To me, that doesn't mean that he's got a one-way ticket to hell. I mean, again, I'm trying to get religious, but the man, I mean, you don't know what the man said to the Lord in his free time and what he said. It just,
that's right.
Sometimes you just can't get away from them demons. And for some people, demons can be entirely different things, man. That doesn't mean he's any less than of a good person or anything like that. Shit just caught up to him, man. That's all it is.
Well, just to clarify, the reason why I didn't mention the overdose is because I believe, I mean, again, I don't know if this is true or not, but I thought I read somewhere that the overdose may have been caused not due to maybe some drug use that he was, maybe had done in, in his former life or whatever it might be, but that he might have been caused by not knowing the amount of medicine to take for whatever he might have been on at the time. I just didn't want to speculate about maybe, whether it was an actual overdose, by his choosing to, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I kind of, neglected to mention it. But yeah,
I mean, you're right. It could be. Man ain't Whitney. I mean, I'm just saying.
Craig is wick. Craig is wick.
Right. Do you have any thoughts on DMX, Damon?
I mean, middle school, I had a couple of his songs on, the old iPod Shuffle, fucking USB drive.
Like that, you wouldn't know. Where my dog's at?
No,
What
was his first studio album? Like 98?
Something like that. It was back when I was in high school.
Yeah, 98. I'm
dating myself.
I was like fucking 6 when he first started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't grow up on him.
Of this fucking podcast.
We're
a bunch of old men.
Young ass.
Either way, I was just looking up. It was 7 studio albums. He's on a lot more. His most recent one, unfortunately, DMX the Rough Rider digital download, came out on April 9th, the day he died.
Oh, that sucks.
Really, I didn't know that. Okay.
I'm gonna have to check that out though.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You live and you die by the sword.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, everybody has their demons. Everybody's going through.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Well,
but it is still sad.
R.I.P. DMX.
Absolutely. Rest in peace, X. Thank you for all you've given us. Well, moving on to a little bit more lighter topics, we thought we'd start discussing some movie stuff that's been out in the last week or so. We thought we might make it a relatively regular segment on the show where we discuss some movie stuff. This week, Tony brought to my attention a clip from the new Ghostbusters Afterlife film.
I haven't heard or seen anything.
Right, we're actually going to be doing a trailer/clip sneak peek reaction to this. We'll be putting up on our channel as well. But for those who have actually seen this, it sounds like me and Tony are probably the only ones who've seen it right now. Without ruining it, what did you think of this clip that involved some characters from the film?
Hold tight. You gonna have him try to not ruin this?
Well,
look,
as best he can, I guess.
Look, you
picked the wrong one.
Shut up. I could do this just fine without talking about mini Marshmallow Man. I
mean, smooth.
Pretty sure we're off to a great start right there.
No. I didn't say that. Don't get me. Look,
like he don't know
it was
nothing.
Great. It was an awesome. It really felt like I was watching one of the classic Ghostbuster movies.
That's all I want, to be honest with you.
If you listen to the music, it's definitely it has that. It was the same.
The exact same music.
Right when something eerie or something was getting ready to happen in the old ones. I mean, Paul Rudd just fits in as a Ghostbuster. I'm assuming by the end of this new movie, he will either be one or at least be like leading the group or something, some way.
It's possible.
Yeah. I don't even know the premise of the movie yet.
Well, I can help you with that one if you want. Yeah. Let's discuss it on in a separate
let's save it till then.
Yeah.
But on the whole, I think this clip was very funny. It was kind of short, but it made me feel like definitely more excited for the movie because I thought the first trailer that they did for this film, it told more about the story, which we'll get into in the other video. But I thought this was more fun.
The trailer and the clip, Eric?
We can, I suppose. Yeah, we could do both.
Okay,
there's no reason not to. So yeah, we'll discuss more about the story of that film and that reaction.
Can't wait.
But yeah, this clip was a lot of fun for those who have seen it. Definitely, or if you haven't, check it out and definitely comment below and let us know what you think about this movie coming up soon. We'll move on a little bit though until we can get more eyes on this in the next reaction video. This may be more for Damon and myself. I'm not sure how anybody else on the panel will want to talk about this, but Paramount announced this week that they will be making a new Star Trek film. This film has not been determined yet. I'm sure the studio
I read an article right before we started recording. There's no details.
Yeah, there's no details right now. But
the only detail there is Abrams is going to head it.
Right, but the speculation is it could be set in the prime timeline. It could be in the J.J. Abrams,
the Kelvin timeline.
The Kelvin timeline, or it could pick up after the Next Generation. Yeah.
For those who don't know, the Kelvin timeline is the Abrams films. Essentially, it's the 2009 Star Trek, Into Darkness, and I forgot the third one. that essentially damn near has killed the fucking franchise in terms of movies. It was received so bad.
My only question is the old boy that's on Reading Rainbow with the fucking Cyclops visor?
Yo.
Probably
Jordy
not.
LaForge?
But he might be in the Picard show.
Depends on what timeline they go in and how far into the future.
Yeah.
My man said the dude from Reading Rainbow. What's his name? LeVar Burton.
LeVar Burton.
Yeah.
Not to be
Jordy LaForge.
The gay guy
OG fam.
Yeah.
My opinion is, I just hope they don't put in what they've done with Discovery and Picard. As long as they stay away from that kind of storytelling, I'll be fine with it. If it's anything like Discovery and Picard, I'm not touching it with a 10-foot fucking pole.
Okay, so I'm going to get into a little bit of this here just real quick.
It's about to get
right
real.
quick. Well, no.
Hold up.
It's okay. No. I have not seen Discovery. However, Picard season 1, I liked.
Oh, God, here we go.
From everything I've heard about it, I can't get too much into it.
The tension on his face, like.
Well, this has been out for a year. You can talk about Picard.
Let it out, Damon. Go ahead.
It's not about spoilers or anything. It's the politicalness of it. I don't like it. It's the wokeness of it. And I'll leave it at that because we don't want to get into politics either.
Okay, I got you.
I don't want to. Everything I've read and seen about it, no. It's not Star Trek to me. It's not what I.
All right. I'm curious. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
So you're talking about politicalness and Star Trek and so when they die and they become the ghost with the shit around them,
bruh.
Is that what you got Martin Luther King in this bitch with the ghost field on him? Is that political?
You're confusing Star Trek with Star Wars. But
I
know you're doing it on.
I was about to let him have it. Like, yo, go get it, big dog. All you.
But yeah, I mean,
so how I got into Star Trek, for a little backstory, and Eric, you can clip this out for its own video or whatnot.
Go, man.
I started watching Star Trek because of the 2009 film. I was like, oh wow, this is really cool. So at the time we had no cable, so we went to the public library. I picked up some Star Trek seasons, started with the original series, fucking fell in love with the series, and I've seen everything from the original series all the way through to fucking Voyager. Still stuck on Enterprise though. But I've seen everything so far of Star Trek, and what they're doing with Discovery and Picard is not what the original shows. I feel Roddenberry would just fucking hate it.
Well, and that's the criticism from among Star Trek fans in general. Starting with the 2009 Abrams movie, it feels like they were trying to make it more Star Wars, more action, adventure, and not about the science of it, which is why a lot of fans are upset about it. But that's another debate.
And I mean, even the ideology of the original Star Treks back in the 60s and the late 90s. I don't entirely agree with it, but it's still the way they were written made it good.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who would agree with you on that for sure. Of course, like I said, I like Picard, but I totally get the criticisms as well.
I still haven't seen Picard because of all the nonsense around it. I might have to bite the bullet and try it. Discovery, though, I will not touch.
No, that's all right.
Just bring Yoda in,
man. This is all y'all.
Yeah, I know. Well, like I said, we're going to move on, but obviously we're boring the other two pedalists.
Do you?
Let me know when Yoda fights the Tribbles and Lieutenant Worf comes in. And
you got 2 out of 3, right?
First off, at this point, it's Lieutenant Commander Worf.
Yo, I'm about to cut your face off, bro. You better get that shit correct.
Don't make me speak Klingon to you.
You got that right,
I'd love to hear it.
Are you a Star Trek fan, Tony?
Speak Klingon.
Yo, so no cap.
You ready? You want to hear some Klingon?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Who want to hear Klingon? I speak Klingon.
I do. Fucking hear it. I want to hear it.
Oh,
I speak it fluently, motherfucker. You ready?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Bro.
Yo, all that build up for nothing.
Fucking nerd.
I thought it paid off beautifully.
So listen. So back in the day, my mom used to babysit these 2 kids, and their parents was huge in the Klingon role playing. Like, I had no idea this was a thing. So
what the fuck is Klingon? Is that a
Klingon?
Pronounce
Wait,
enunciate, motherfucker. There's
the
a
shit
G.
with the spine on the forehead type shit.
No,
with
that's
the,
Indian.
The Fu Manchu mustache and shit.
This went off the rails so fast.
So
Yeah.
You might have to clip some of this out. I mean,
No, this is live, baby. Go.
So one time we were over at their house and like her mom came out dressed up in like leather and with the shits on her head.
You bullshitting.
Dead ass on everything I love. And I remember looking at her like, what the fuck is this? And I knew where I saw it from because my stepdad was using the Star Trek.
Wait.
So
you legit walked in on two grown ass people fucking like from
yeah,
Klingons.
like for
they
real.
Were dressed up like Klingons to fuck.
They would go to these parties and that's what they did. But
God, it's fucking huge in the Star Trek community with these.
like
Klingons.
real shit. Like this
They
real
have-
I've heard of. You heard a fucking furry party where motherfuckers dress up like animals, but
And
I
you don't
ain't never
think this will
heard
be out
of
the
no
way?
Fucking Klingon party,
bro. You totally mistaken.
They've made dictionaries in Klingonese.
Oh yeah.
There's people
I'm
who
pretty
got
sure
married
they've even.
like that.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they even have the damn
that's
Bible
where I
in
draw the
Klingon.
fucking line.
Yo,
I'm not
real.
dressing up as no fucking Klingon to get some pussy. Ain't happening. Ain't
Yo.
That's
So,
terrible. Who the
look,
fuck?
Hey man, you look into
Klingon?
the Klingon
Look.
women, man. They,
Her dude came and
What? They
picked
got
him up.
three
He
titties
was
or something? What is
he
the-
was
what's the
in
big deal?
full
That's Total Recall.
he was in full Klingon garb and everything. Like, and they came by
Hey.
and like
Look,
they dipped out to a party and like my mom's told me like this was like years later, but that's what they did. Like that's what they were going to swinger parties, but they were dressed up as Klingons and shit. But like I guess everybody did it. I don't fucking know.
obviously, I am not a part of this nerd genre. I'm gonna just back out until we go on to the next subject.
All I'm saying, like I'm
I
not
was
either.
kind
I'm
of
just saying this is
kidding
what
about the Bible in Klingon. No, that shit actually does exist. I just looked it up.
I
Yo,
believe.
is there like
They've
time
actually
out.
translated the Bible into Klingon.
So
Holy
was it
crap.
So you
Klingon
say
James
Jesus
version?
is a Klingon?
Wow.
Do what?
Did you just say Jesus is a Klingon?
No. I'm assuming this is crowdfunded, but they've translated at least the Book of Psalms into Klingon.
Unreal.
Yeah,
So-
never. Whoever did that ain't never got no ass. Period. Ain't never. Who the
So hold tight.
translates
Is
the
there
the
a
Bible
religion?
is boring as shit anyways as it is in English, let alone fucking
what did you-
Klingon.
He said English.
Oh God, canceled.
So is there a like a religion devoted to Klingon?
Yeah,
Yes,
called
I'm
Christianity,
sure.
apparently.
So the way the Klingons work is it is
Boys have a penis. Girls
Yo,
have a
yes or
vagina.
no?
No.
Like, I don't need. I don't need
no.
backstory.
They're like Vikings essentially. They believe in battle, in the honor of battle.
So
Yeah.
is there like an Odin for them?
Yes.
Yeah, his name was Jesus, and he rode on a pale
Kalis.
horse.
Man,
Yeah.
we might need to move
Camel
on.
horse?
No, Kalis.
Yeah.
Oh.
That is the first Klingon. It's a whole fucking backstory.
Yo,
But essentially,
all right,
it's a Viking mentality kind of thing.
What about their distant cousin Kleenex?
brother.
No,
Nonetheless, there's a new movie coming out. We may have to move this forward, otherwise we'll never get through this whole show. But
because I mean,
Right.
whole fucking day.
but hey, I'm excited for the movie. We'll,
Time to move on.
yeah,
Yeah,
we'll,
about 5 minutes ago is when we should have moved on. But now we're talking about.
boy, yeah. This is what, I expect this to go for a lot of these topics probably tonight, actually. All right, moving on to our next movie/TV streaming, whatever you want to call it, news article or whatever you want. We're going to discuss here tonight. Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I
This-
see shit.
I see it. Shut up.
God
Oh,
damn, you
okay.
people are slow.
We won't spoil episode 5 that just came out today or Friday. Okay, we won't ruin that either.
Yo, 4 was crazy as hell, brother.
Yeah, it was.
Non-spoiler. I'll say episode 5. I watched after I got home from work. It's not as action-packed as episode 3 or 4 for that
No,
matter.
it's not.
It's very
You don't need to be.
no.
No.
I mean those
It-
two. Yeah, those two were off the chain.
It's entirely. I'll say this. It doesn't. I don't think it spoils anything.
No.
Essentially, its entire setup is for the next episode.
All right, listen.
Yeah, the finale.
It's just set up
After
for
4?
next week.
I will
Smoke
say that
weed.
after 4, you need that breather because that shit was
Oh, yeah.
insane.
I agree with that, but the episode does start out with a confrontation that episode 4 set up, and it's
Yeah. It
obviously.
essentially
it was
is a
awesome.
straight continuation from 4.
right into
I would
5.
assume they would.
Yeah, and
After
then
what took place.
And then after that, it seems to calm down a little bit. But again, very good character stuff here, which just builds and builds and builds to hopefully the big finale that we're going to get next week for this season. I hope we get more seasons of this too.
Here's my question.
Oh yeah.
How the fuck do you calm down after it? Like legitimately.
Well, they just had to. Yeah, I don't want to ruin it, but they just had to pull back from the action and But yeah, they definitely.
Fuck, I was upset at the end of 5. I was upset at the end of 5 was like where it left off. I was like, how the fuck am I gonna wait a fucking week for the next one? Like, how dare you, Disney?
That's how they get your ass.
Yeah,
Exactly.
They get that subscription money from Disney Plus.
So they've been getting that shit for like a year at this point.
That's how women get you too. Gotta be careful.
Wow.
Yeah, they show you titty, and next thing you know, you stuck for life.
But if you've not seen any of Falcon and Winter Soldier, I highly recommend it. It's a great series, especially if you enjoy the Captain America movies like Winter Soldier or Civil War. It's definitely in that vein of spy, thriller, action, and it's just great for that genre. Okay, go ahead.
I want to say this.
Okay.
I was surprised, like, from the first episode, like, how the quality of it was. Like, that shit was crazy, because it's essentially a mini movie. But, like...
Yeah.
Like, they didn't skimp on anything. Like, once they committed to it, they fully fucking committed to it.
Absolutely.
So, like, to me, that is awesome. And I really I enjoy it. But, like, again, I will say this. Like, episode 4, the way that shit ended, I was like... The fuck do we go from here?
Now, I will say this is not a spoiler, but this episode definitely dives in because the whole premise of the show, it's not a spoiler again, is the idea of Sam Wilson taking up the mantle of Captain America. This episode dives deep into what it would be like
character psychology.
Yeah, for a black man to take on the mantle of Captain America and what that could mean.
One thing they did I don't want to spoil that either. Never mind, forget I said anything.
All right, so
I think we ought to set a rule here on spoilers. If it's been out a year or it's a comic book, talk about it freely. It's just something that's maybe not been out for a few months. Try maybe not talk about that stuff. That way we know what we can and can't talk about. I think that'd be a good way to start. So, but yeah. So anyway, if that's all we want to say on that, we'll move on. Our next movie topic was a bit of Shazam 2 casting news. Lucy Liu from Kill Bill and Charlie's Angels movies got cast as the daughter of the god Atlas, Calypso, who I believe is not even a character in DC Comics, but it is a part of Greek mythology.
Calypso is.
Is she?
I would assume, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
I don't think who makes this one? Warner Brothers again?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Warner Brothers ain't that dumb to just add in a random character.
No, Calypso is part of DC.
Okay, I didn't know that as a comic thing. Also, Helen Mirren was cast a few weeks back as the sister of Calypso, Hespera, which I'm not sure about that character either.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so,
I mean, DC seems to have went with the Greek route, and I want to assume Marvel went with the Norse route.
A lot of
there.
They did.
I mean, fuck, Wonder Woman stems from Greek mythology.
It was Zeus and all that.
Her whole mythos.
Yeah. She fights a god by the name of Ares.
But that's kind of what I like about the DC movies, though. They're not the same as Marvel in that respect. They are leaning more towards the gods, which I like personally, but I get it.
Huge part of.
Well, I mean, the entirety of Thor, at least in the MCU, is going the Norse mythology route.
True.
That's because
DC went Greek.
But he's the only one,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got Odin, Loki.
Well, yeah, but the Thor.
Yeah, but that's the thing too. Shazam ain't even a fucking real god. Who the fuck? What god on Mount Olympus do you know named Shazam?
Well, I'm not sure he's a.
No, he's a mixture of different gods.
Yeah, he's like about six different gods. Yeah.
So what? Did they all piss in a cup and say, "Here, drink this," and you turn into a fucking That's
he was imbued with the powers of those gods.
Thor is a Norse god, and I mean, see, this is why Marvel will always, always, always be ahead of DC.
I'm not gonna
Whack
say
ass DC don't know.
It doesn't help that Marvel got to start
that's
16 years ago.
Wow. Dumbass.
Yeah, it's fucked up how that's the thing, but how Deadpool was literally ripped out of Deathstroke.
Oh yeah.
No, his image.
They make no qualms about that either. They don't hide that fact.
No, he's not. Deadpool is a mouthy fucking psychopath. Fucking.
It's okay, fine. It's the same character, but
is a
different personality. Same character. So is Deadpool, and so is Deathstroke.
Yeah. Wade Wilson literally stems from Slade Wilson.
Yes,
Yes,
it's Slade Wilson and Wade Wilson.
But there is nothing other than a fucking.
He even looked like him at the beginning.
They don't look like the motherfucker.
When Deadpool was first fucking drawn, he looked exactly like Deathstroke, just red and black.
Motherfucker, what are you talking like him? Like is without the mask and shit?
No, without the mask, he still looks like a pimple. It is what it is.
The bottom line is there's been characters from Marvel that have been copied from DC. DC's has been copied from Marvel over the years. They've both done
that's not an industry secret.
No.
Yeah, that's not. But DC still fucking sucks. Plain and simple.
Movie-wise, I'd almost agree with you if you compare them to Marvel movies. But when it comes to TV, animated comics, sometimes DC's better.
Oh, dude, DC animated universe is far and above Marvel's.
Yes, absolutely. Give you that 100%. But that's where I draw the line. The fucking TV shows are horrible too.
Wait. Oh, like you mean talking about? So I haven't seen any Supergirl.
I like the Arrow stuff.
I like Batman.
The Arrowverse is good.
Gotham. I like Gotham.
Batman.
Gotham was good.
Gotham was good.
Despite everyone else's opinion, I did enjoy Batwoman.
Marvel is finally starting
into season 1.
Marvel has finally started to catch up with DC when it's starting to come to the TV side of things. They're finally making their own shows on Disney Plus and stuff, which is and they had some. But
the difference is in the fucking budget. They got Disney money and Marvel and DC doesn't.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Daredevil. Name a show better than Luke Cage. And my wife just texted me that said Smallville was good. Smallville was great, but when I'm talking,
I like Gotham. Gotham was great, and Arrow's been killing it so far.
Yeah, the Arrowverse in general have been pretty good.
Yeah, I mean they brought Crisis on Infinite Earths to a fucking screen.
Yeah,
outside of the wokeness of the CW, I'll give them that.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
but I enjoyed Flash first season.
Flash has been great.
I haven't seen.
I mean, there's still shit you can pick at it, but to me overall, it's still good.
Iron Fist was trash.
What?
The first season was.
I
still enjoyed all of it.
Yeah, I still enjoyed it, but yeah, I mean, I get your criticism of the.
I like Jessica Jones. That was dope.
I'm just gonna say
I can never get into Jones.
Leave it at that. The Punisher.
That's a good series. That's a good series.
I mean, fair enough.
That Daredevil was the best ones.
Fucking born to be the Punisher.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
I ain't got no argument there. I mean, that is what it is. Punisher was fucking dope as hell.
That motherfucker got you for old and new. I tell you what.
Okay. Look, that shit started like out the gate. There was no prelude, no let's what. No, it was out the gate, murder. Like
now, I will say this, getting back to the Shazam thing a little bit. DC does have some films coming out that I think could be very good if done properly. That's the key, though. They've got to.
I enjoyed Aquaman. I enjoyed the first one. I still haven't seen the second one.
You're not missing much. You're not missing much of that second Wonder Woman movie.
All right. I enjoyed Shazam. We saw Shazam together.
Well, and those are the elements.
I've still yet to see Shazam.
Those three elements that you just mentioned, Shazam, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman, they're keeping all those. Mm-hmm. Flash, they're keeping too, and they're going to reboot a lot of stuff with the Flash movie. But I think in doing so, they could course correct very well. Yeah, the Batman movie, again, is set on its own thing. But again, if they correct all that stuff, after Flash, they might get a more singular vision, and I hope they'll start to improve. But we're just going to have to wait and see on that.
And look, we watched Justice League 2, like, together. Not the Snyder Cut, the original.
The original theatrical,
yeah. And it wasn't bad. Yes,
it wasn't good.
It was eh.
I had that's about it. It was and
that's the part that sucks.
I enjoyed the Aquaman shit. Like he had me cracking up.
I enjoyed the Flash stuff.
I enjoyed
the Flash stuff. The Flash stuff is even better in the Zack Snyder Justice League cut.
I just don't have fucking 4 hours.
I agree. Yeah.
The story was fucking trash.
Fucking dude.
If you would have took the story from literally the video game Injustice and translated that to the screen, it still would have made for a better intro into the fucking Justice League than that shit.
That's very possible.
That whole Batman, like if you took the Batman v Superman story, right, and used the Injustice story to introduce the Justice League, it would have been 10 times better.
To be honest, though, outside of the Justice League theatrical cut, I think some of the stories they've actually been setting up in the main DCEU timeline are not that bad. It's just they've got to give it time for the audience to get attached to them and don't rip it away from us when we finally like what you're doing, like they are trying to do with Snyder stuff.
Here's another thing I hate, and I've told you about this shit plenty of times, Eric. I hate when they have to keep rebooting superhero stories. Like that shit to me gets so old so fucking fast. How many times have you seen Batman's origin story?
Yeah. A lot.
How many times have you seen Superman's origin story?
Yeah.
How many times have you seen like that's it? And that's on both sides because Marvel's done it too.
With Spider-Man.
Like, I've seen Spider-Man shit so much. I'm like, yo, we know.
But the good thing is, studios are finally starting to understand that, though, because the new Batman movie starts a year after he's already begun. Spider-Man Homecoming didn't even get into Spider-Man's origin that much, so they're learning to not retell that. So that's a good thing, I think.
Because since I know Superman, Batman's been around since fucking 30s and 40s. If you don't know their fucking origins by then,
you ain't gonna fucking know it all. There's no point.
Oh, exactly.
I hate every time a superhero gets a standalone movie. You got to retell.
It's got to be an origin story.
Trash.
Yeah, I think we
Tony's
lost
just
Tony. Tony's like, move on.
I'm still here.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I mean, I think, hopefully they'll get things corrected and we'll start to see some that pay off in the future. Our next topic, Tony's still there?
What? Is he shitting? What is he? Anyway, he'll jump back in the combo. Keep going.
Okay.
Boys room.
Okay. Our next topic tonight revolves around the new Mortal Kombat movie that we will be reviewing next week on the channel. I wanted to discuss a little bit of a topic that's been going around the internet about whether or not it's a good idea to center this movie around the unknown character of Cole Young in the film. A lot of people were criticizing this movie that they're not using like Liu Kang to center this movie on. Or, I mean, granted, they did that in the 1995 version. But in this film, they're taking an unknown character and they're making him the central protagonist of the film. As gamers, as Mortal Kombat fans, do you have a problem with that if the movie turns out to be good? Or would you rather see an established character like a Liu Kang, a Kung Lao, or a Raiden be the central focus of this film?
No, I don't. Because simply, it's the same thing with superheroes. Like, eventually they die. And you got to put somebody else up front. So whether that be a new character or a sidekick, whatever the case may be, you need that to move forward. You can't keep relying on like Liu Kang and Katana and shit like that. Like, you got to move forward, especially in Mortal Kombat.
I mean, the games have been trying that for the last
they've
5 or 6 years.
They introduce new characters that you're like, who the fuck is this person? But then you're like, oh, okay, get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, it's just like, all right, let's roll. As long as it's good, it shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
So you get a new character out of it. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And the movie as well, guess what? Guarantee you he's in the next Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah. So this way you establish this, and then going forward, this is your protagonist now. I mean, you did the shit with Liu Kang. It was, you know what I'm saying? So like, same thing with wrestling. You got to build up new stars, and this is the way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree. To me, it doesn't matter to me as long as the movie's good. If it's centered around a character that's unknown, and they build him and build. Now, I don't know any spoilers from this movie, but there is speculation that he is a descendant of somebody's lineage. I'll say that, and that's all I know. That and the movie is out overseas right now, so it is getting some reviews. It has been getting relatively positive reviews. It's not Shakespeare, obviously, but it's going to be, it's going to be kind of like your Godzilla versus Kong, where it's going to be for fun, for the action, the fights and things like that, and the gore and the blood. That's what we want to see in a Mortal Kombat film. So,
listen,
you want to see them fatalities,
right?
I saw Sub-Zero freeze somebody's gun and do the fucking ice wall thing. That's all I care about.
Right?
Because we all know the only good fighter in Mortal Kombat is Sub-Zero. So let's just get that out the way.
All right.
What'd you say?
Sub-Zero is the best Mortal Kombat character.
Damn right, you better put some respect on his name.
No respect for Scorpion?
No, hold on. Which Sub-Zero?
The original one. Well, Noob Saibot, that's my man's.
Oh, that would be Bihan.
Yeah, Bihan.
Confused with behind.
Bruh, which is Noob Saibot.
Let's get Tony's take on this. Tony, what do you feel about a possible unknown character named Cole Young being the central focus of this new Mortal Kombat movie and not an established character like a Liu Kang or somebody else?
Well, give me a second. Let me get back here in the picture department here, folks.
Yeah, he was taking a shit. That's what he was doing.
No, I wasn't. Look, all right, fine. If everybody has to know, I had to take a piss. All right, you got a problem with that? Look, man, I got diabetes.
You got a problem with that? Leave it in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're damn right.
Hey, what's up?
I am.
Where the fuck you laying on the floor?
I feel so refreshed. Look, I told you, dude. He's laying down. Like, it's nap time for him. He's old. You know what I'm saying? It's bedtime.
Fuck You.
Like, man, yo, your wife even chuckles, so you know it's real.
Cinnamon Teddy Graham. Look, you motherfucker. Hey, you better back the fuck up. I want that she loves cinnamon Teddy Grahams.
I bet you do.
Delicious.
Yeah, you better. No, I'm talking about Brandon. That's his nickname. I gave it to him a while back.
Why he punched me in the ass, mind you.
Oh, yeah, sorry. All right, so anyways, yeah, I know this is going to be weird. People are going to be like, oh, why does his face look like he has a stroke? I don't know. It's because I'm fat and it's all just raw. But anyways, all right, so the big thing, yeah, I guess you really could have went. It doesn't bother me that much having a unknown character. I mean, unless you're starting to get into Street Fighter territory where, you know, they just put characters in there.
It was out of control.
Capcom wanted it.
Yeah.
I think I heard you saying something about him possibly having lineage to another character, Eric.
Yeah.
If that's the case, okay, cool. I mean, you never know what they're going to do. I mean, so far, just from what I've seen in the trailer, it looks amazing. So I have faith in them. I'm not that upset about it. And I did somehow, I wish I would have remembered to save the video, but I was able to see a pre-something, maybe not pre-CGI or whatever, but it was Liu Kang's fatality.
Yo.
Or Kung Lao, no, so I'm sorry, Kung Lao's fatality with his hat.
Uh-huh.
Oh, dude.
Yo, Kung Lao OG too.
Yeah, it was sick.
That's my go-to number 2.
I can't wait to see that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're all very excited about the movie, and I think we're all in pretty much agreement. If it's a good movie, you know, that's cool with us.
All right. Wait, real quick.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite character to use in Mortal Kombat?
Sub-Zero.
Yeah, I'd probably say Sub-Zero, Scorpion, personally.
You would say Scorpion. You look like a
I
Scorpion.
like to get over here. You know what I mean?
Man, that's why you get your
But he
ass
sounded very Japanese in the movie when he said, "Get over here."
Yeah.
It was terrible. It was.
I ain't gonna lie, he did, didn't he?
Yeah, he sounded bad though.
Yeah.
Sounded like a sumo Sam.
Oh, you
David, who's your favorite character?
Motherfuckers.
I don't necessarily have one.
Okay.
You trash.
I've never really fucking played the game.
He hits that random.
Right, show motherfucker to me.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, I can just never pull off the fatalities very well.
Yo, that toasty, like the toasty.
Yeah,
was
the toasty. Yeah. Animality. Yeah.
Yo, yeah, Mortal Kombat, like that's just one of them games that like I could go back on them bitches and play them up. But yeah.
My forehead look big as fucking this, man. My hairline is rough.
Well, when you put the camera right next to your head, it's gonna.
Yo,
look, man.
Gleaming, brother. You
Nice.
might go ahead and cut it back off, huh?
Look at my poor hairline. Good Lord, guys.
Alrighty, well, moving on to the next topic, which is our last topic.
Oh, thank you. Where'd you find that? Hold on, guys. Hold on. Look what I just got.
Okay.
Hang on.
Palm in your hand?
Now I can sit here and talk to you guys like I'm getting ready to read my diary.
Oh God! What the fuck?
Put my hands under my chin like this.
Oh my!
Jesus Christ!
This is going to be a 3-hour show at this rate.
I have to cut it up.
It's the only thing that's going 3 hours with me.
Oh my word! Moving on to our next and final movie topic of the night: Indiana Jones 5. Just had a few.
Fucking Christ, let it die.
That's what I was going to ask. Do we need an Indiana Jones 5 with a 78-year-old Harrison Ford?
Easy, no.
I mean, fuck, Crystal Skull set up it with Shia LaBeouf, but no, stop it.
Like
he lived a good life. Let it die.
Like, okay, that's another thing. There are some movies they hit that golden stride. You know, maybe 1, 2, or 3. Leave it at that. Like,
yeah, Crystal Skulls shouldn't have been made.
Yeah, that's it. Like,
no, they shouldn't. He ain't 007. This ain't James Bond. He's not gonna. No, just let it go.
Yeah,
I'm ready. You know what? Let's do like fucking Elsa. Let it go. Let it go.
Oh,
I'm probably going to be the only guy in this room. Though. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't hate Crystal Skull.
You would,
with the exception of 2 scenes: the refrigerator and Shia LaBeouf swinging with monkeys. That sucked.
Then there's something like this.
This is cheesy as fuck.
Well, yeah, there was that at times, but part of me was like, maybe it's just the nostalgia of it. But yeah, the original 3 are the best ones. So
not nostalgia. You just like that shit.
It's just when those movies came out, that was kind of the genre that was
and they ran their course though.
And like, now in today's cinema world, it's just those aren't popular anymore.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, it could just be audiences have changed,
Instead, we get movies like the fucking Fast and Furious 9 fucking times.
which we'll be doing a trailer
Again.
reaction to that too.
There's nothing wrong with the
Again.
Fast and the Furious.
Here's the thing.
It's getting a little long in the tooth.
Once you hit that sweet spot, let it go.
Yeah, I can agree.
There should be no reason why we say the words Fast and the Furious 9 should be coming out of anybody.
At least they have
No.
reportedly an endpoint in mind. That's
Yeah, two more movies after.
Two
this.
more movies
We're
after
doing
9.
trilogy.
So 11.
11 total, and that will be supposedly the end. We'll see how it goes. They may change their mind, but and doesn't mean Hobbs and Shaw won't get more spinoffs. But
That's Hobbs and Shaw is fine. It's a spinoff, but in the main Fast and Furious
Franchise.
movies, it
But
needs
there's
to
about to be
die.
dinosaurs in the fucking movies, man.
well, that's a rumor we'll discuss in our Fast and Furious 9 trailer breakdown that we'll also be putting up on the channel. But we'll save that for that video.
Put a dinosaur in this movie. Catch me outside.
All right.
He's gonna be looking at
fucking
T-Rex talking. I live my life a quarter
Quarter
mile
mile.
at a time.
Family.
Family. Fuck out of here.
All right.
Get
Fucking dinosaur
it.
eats them.
Fuck out of here.
All right.
That's how it should end.
That's the thing. They killed so many characters and just brought them back in other random. Like, it missed me with that shit, dude. Like,
Yeah, all right, the actor that fake died in the movie gets brought back to life, but the actor that real died in a car crash,
I
still
think.
stays in it.
Well, he's not in it. They wrote him out. But here's the thing. Here's my theory. I won't get into this in the trailer reaction, so we'll cover it now. I think Fast and Furious 10 and 11, they're going to do the Avengers with that sucker. They're going to bring... No. Hear me out. They're going to bring in The Rock's Hobbs, Statham's Shaw, probably Ryan Reynolds, who was in that movie as well. You bring... I think they're going to try and bring back Paul Walker CGI from the dead, and they're going to bring back Brian O'Connor too.
Christ.
That's just my theory. I have no...
Listen to me. Stop it.
You know how much burn and scar tissue they're going to have to get off his corpse?
Man.
Fucking Christ.
There goes the channel. But yeah, I think. I mean, if the family okays it, there's a whole ethical debate here. But
Moving on.
yeah,
No, the Avengers style movie, that was 5.
all I know is
they had from the first one, then they brought in Gibson and Ludacris from the second, and that's all they've done since.
They've been
Since
building
5
and
has
building.
had them.
Not even
Yeah,
a
so your
fiery car
Avengers
crash.
movie
It's
was
not Paul
Fast
Walker.
5.
When Fast 5 ended, right, with the whole drive and Paul and all, like
that was 7. But yes,
so whatever 7 ended.
It should have ended there.
That could have been a good ending. Yeah.
Like for real.
No, he should have fucking swerved off the cliff. Perfect.
Oh,
Fiery
Move on.
crash.
yeah. Let's. But I will say though, before we wrap this up, The Rock did send out a tweet before 11 got announced. He said, "I'll see you soon, Toretto. All roads lead to Fast 10," which I think at the time was the finale. So, like I said, that tweet kind of got my mind turning that they may just bring in everybody in one big finale. So we'll see what they do. But yeah, look out for that trailer reaction on our video too. All right, that does it for movie news for the evening. We're going to transition into an announcement from Tony in regards to a horror tournament that he would like to do on the channel. So, Tony, why don't you let us know what that's all about?
You just told everybody what it was.
You old bitch ass.
Well, in more detail.
No, it's too late now.
You told him, Eric. Tell him what it's about. Go ahead.
I don't know what it's about. You tell me, man. That's the extent of my knowledge.
Right out the damn bag. Oh, you want to drink your water so you can't talk?
Yeah.
You a whole
All right.
You a whole.
So, anyways, you just sip your tea, Kermit. So the month of April is basically it's halfway to Halloween. You got Christmas in July, but we're doing Halloween in April. But the only thing is, I don't know if we're gonna actually get this out in April, so we'll see. But we have a 64-man bracket tournament, basically like March Madness style. I've got 4 different groups of different types of genres of horror movies. 4. Yeah. Do the math. That's a lot of movies. And what we're going to do is we're basically going to come up with the best horror movie of all time. The problem is a lot of my cohorts here are not as big of a horror fan as I am. So they probably have not seen them. That's why I am bringing in a special guest, a hot tag of a partner, if you will. Bouncer, the guy who me and Brandon know very well. Professional wrestler for over 20 years. Huge horror fanatic. Horror actor in general. He is one part of the Horror Guys production, who they do their own podcast as well. And we can throw links in with this one. And that way you guys can check them out and be prepared for when he comes on the show. Expect a very lengthy show. And it's going to be a blast. And we're going to come up with the greatest horror movie of all time. So, yeah. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Should be fun.
It should be a lot of fun. All right, with that down, let's move into a topic that you guys thought you might want to discuss. And there was one game in particular I thought would be kind of cool to talk about. Video games we're playing or that we're excited about coming out soon. Anything you guys want to discuss about that?
Yeah, I'm playing my favorite game. It's called Work.
I don't like that game. That game sucks.
That Work game is trash, bro.
It's too much like real life. You know,
I played
too much lag.
I played that shit all week, and I got to tell you, I don't think I'm gonna play this.
Yeah, I never get to the next level. No matter how many times I try or how much I do, I never get to the next level.
Stuck on this level, bro, and it's like, and the payoff ain't even worth it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Did anybody?
I ain't even seen the final boss yet.
No, that final boss is a killer. Yeah, it's called Taxes. Yeah.
For real, and they get your ass every time, brother.
But as in real video games, there was one that caught my eye this week. I don't know if you guys saw it, but the trailer for the Nintendo Switch game for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
it looks
Shredder's Revenge. What do you guys think about that? It reminds me of the old 80s classic arcade games, and I loved it.
So when we know our bitch is gonna get it, I mean, apparently it's 4 players. So.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, but
I didn't even know.
Just for the Nintendo Switch, or is it going to be for the other consoles as well?
No, you need to get the Nintendo Switch.
I'm pretty sure they said there's going to come out on other consoles too. So yeah,
it's possible. I'm not sure. I just saw the Nintendo Switch trailer, so
I'll look it up. You know, that's why we have these.
Well, all right.
Well, then use your phone, motherfucker.
Check.
Everybody here big fans of the Ninja Turtles as children, or I know I grew up with them.
I was there opening night when the original movie came out. I remember that was one of my memories that I have in my small little memory bank.
I remember because I thought they were creepy as shit, and I
forgiveness is divine, but late pizza.
Never.
Yeah,
never pay full price for late pizza. Yeah,
that's right. There it is.
You remember the live action TV show they had?
Oh yeah, they had the girl turtle, Venus, the Milo.
Man, I've blocked that out. Yeah, the 3 original movies though were great. Even Turtles in Time or whatever they did that one, but they went back to Japan. I kind of liked.
Yo, fuck y'all, that panda was real. Like I had his little action figure. Like
there wasn't a
samurai.
There was no samurai.
Not in the movie. In the cartoon it was. He had this little samurai panda. It was my shit.
Now I'll say this: the Michael Bay versions I didn't like.
No, they weren't.
Nah, they made
with that fucking whack ass Stephen Amell again.
I mean,
so you remember when we went and saw that shit, Tony? And I said, "Why the fuck is Raphael that big?"
Yeah,
he was a black turtle.
7 feet tall.
He definitely said that.
And bulletproof.
Why the fuck is Raphael that big?
Why were they bulletproof? Someone tell me that.
I don't know.
I mean,
because when mutant,
I
dude,
guess.
I look like drunk Hulk Hogan. I swear to God, like if
they should not wear a pirate outfit.
As long as you don't start slinging the same words, Hogan's, then you fun.
Oh, you know, come on, man, that ain't me.
What is it called? Revenge of Shredder?
Shredder's Revenge. Yeah.
Or Shredder's Revenge.
Mm-hmm. But it just reminded me of the old Turtles in Time arcade game, the button smashers. It just, I had a blast with that as a kid, man.
That's what I told Miranda when I seen it. I was like, "Yo, look at this," and she was like, "What's that, Ninja Turtles?" I was like, "Yeah." What do you mean?
I didn't know it was 4 players.
They're not going to be the heartthrob of this group, that's for sure. Jesus Christ.
Bro, you still hanging on, ain't
Maybe if I turn my head that way a little bit.
Did we have any other games you wanted to discuss?
Did you find it yet? Or are you still?
I'm looking it up now.
Man.
So shut
your whole
mouth.
We know.
Discuss.
Well, Tony brought up Hulk Hogan, so I guess that could transition us into our pro wrestling segment of the show.
No, it doesn't, because I ain't talking about Monday. Damn.
Well, we're going to get into all these shows this week because we're going to cover them. We're not going to cover them as intently, but we thought we'd run through these shows a little bit here. You want to just kind of our highs and lows of each show? Want to do it that way this week?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. For Monday Night Raw, I thought the good stuff. First of all, there wasn't much good on this show for the Monday after WrestleMania.
Monday Night Raw, I'll give you 2 words: sucked ass.
That's a great review.
Yeah, well, I'll raise you 3 words. Fuck them birds.
Well, I was going to say there's 3 things good on this show. 1, there was no birds because Bobby Lashley attacked Riddle before he got to the ring for his entrance, so there's no birds. The New Day had Mortal Kombat gear, which I think they had at Mania or the week prior, And of course,
Week before.
the week before, and then of course the return of the Viking Raiders, as one of them is now back from injury. But other than that,
hold on,
yeah,
because Raw was shit. I'm gonna say what I was gonna say a minute ago about Ninja Turtles. As of right now, Nintendo Switch, but they haven't said anything about being on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, or Xbox Series X, S, or Google Stadia for those.
well,
three
all right
things.
then. And Brandon has just made it even more difficult for me to clip this out, but I appreciate it.
Why?
We got into wrestling, and I said you jump back. But it's not. I'm just messing with you.
Fuck, all right. Wrong shit. Plain and simple.
But yeah, when it comes to the bad here, WWE clearly has no challengers for Bobby Lashley, so they went right back to Drew McIntyre. Even though Bobby Lashley destroyed him at Mania, there's no reason for him to be in this title match again.
Listen, we literally
he
talked
didn't
about
tap
that
out.
before that. He didn't. He just passed out.
He didn't tap out, so there's plausible reason to get a rematch.
But in WWE, being knocked out is the same as a loss, as a submission. So they don't view it as, oh, he didn't lose, he lost.
Yeah, but that's what they're gonna say, so it don't matter.
Yeah, you know, at some point before Backlash, they're gonna have Drew say, "I never tap."
Yeah.
Also, to me, when Riddle fought Bobby Lashley to begin the show, Bobby Lashley destroyed him, which in turn completely destroyed one of the few contenders you could have going against Bobby Lashley. He did it in a convincing fashion too. So to me, it was like, maybe you should have thought that was true.
View Riddle as a joke.
Oh, I don't. But to me, he's one of the more, well, F them birds, yeah. Rhea Ripley also had a promo, which to me, she was staring off in the distance. She wouldn't look at the camera. She wouldn't look at the interviewer. It looked like
so scripted.
It looked like she was reading a teleprompter. So I'm like, okay, that was another bad. They're calling Backlash WrestleMania Backlash, which is like, okay, you're just trying to stretch out WrestleMania's season.
Redundancy.
They could not wait to bring Charlotte back in the women's division to immediately, interfere in a women's title match, and she come out in this crazy looking outfit. I know JD from New York on YouTube said she looked like a motherboard because it looked just like a PC. But yeah, her promo, talking about how she's the opportunity and she's not going to be humble anymore. I'm like, so up till now we've seen the humble Charlotte. Okay,
that's exactly what I said in the group chat. It's like, when the fuck was Charlotte ever humble?
Yeah,
like I don't recall that.
Yeah,
I bet you the Iron Sheik made her humble.
I was watching a review earlier this week on Raw, another reviewer, and they essentially just said it was Charlotte turned up to 12.
Yeah, basically.
Like, fuck yeah.
Again, it's one of those things that whether you like it or not, she's always going to be there.
We've got a few more bad stuff for Monday Night Raw.
Doesn't mean I can't bitch about it.
Right. Damian Priest is now, his usefulness is over, but Bad Bunny is gone. He was beat by Miz and Morrison, so in a handicap match, so there's that. Nia Jax.
Yeah, but they cheated to win.
Okay, fair enough, but again, Nia Jax was in a tag match, and they were making fun of the fact that one of Mandy or Dana was slipping on the way to the ring at WrestleMania, so Nia Jax was slipping all over the place on purpose. It was awkward.
Fucking dumb.
It was awful.
There was a slip, all right, but it wasn't on
the and of course, in this match, which happened again on SmackDown, by the way, which we'll get into a little bit, but Mandy and Dana opted to get counted out on purpose because they didn't want to, get in the ring and actually wrestle as babyfaces.
They didn't want to catch them hands.
No, but the reason why they did it, though, is because Nia was mad.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why.
Aren't you supposed to be fighting babyfaces?
I still think that's dumb as shit.
Yeah, I'm not saying
so,
it's not dumb.
To me, if WWE doesn't take the finishes of their matches seriously, why should the audience? You can
say that about a lot of wrestling. It ain't just WWE.
Oh, don't worry, I got some criticism. Don't worry, I got criticism of AEW before we get through this too. And of course, in the main event, you had Drew McIntyre got attacked by T-Bar and Mace of the formerly Retribution, and it looked like MVP either paid them off to attack him or they were helping MVP, or whatever it might be. I don't know if this is the right direction to take T-Bar and Mace, but
no, considering how legitimately for months now, the Hurt Business was whooping they asses.
Mm-hmm.
There should be no reason why they would help you at all or for anything.
So this is like a combination of the groups, like Retribution.
The Retribution's over. T-Bar
Like,
and Mace
no,
were
No,
kind
I'm
of.
saying is bring them together.
Basically-
so you put the names together, and you got Retribution
Oh.
or Retro Business or some shit. I don't know. It's terrible.
Here's the
fucking
thing.
Sucks.
It's dumb.
You're replacing Shelton and Cedric with these two for
Mhm.
what?
Yeah.
Because they're
Like bad
bigger.
Predator extras. Terrible.
Yeah.
Fucking
Anyway,
This
It was
show was garbage. It sucked. Don't waste your time.
As soon as I saw that Drew won the match, I tuned out. I turned it off. So I didn't even see the beatdown. I just, Drew won the match. All right, good. Raw's fucking over with.
Yeah, I mean they
All
had
right.
they had
Get me the
Braun,
fuck out of here.
they had Braun Strowman in this
Oh,
match for the title contendership too, but thank goodness that didn't happen. All right, we'll move on to NXT, which had their debut on Tuesday night this week. Started the show off with a great promo by Karrion Kross. I thought. I again don't know a whole lot about Karrion Kross yet personally, but I'm looking forward to see where he takes this title run.
yeah, he should be solid.
Yeah, actually, absolutely. Yeah. The first match of the night was NXT Tag Team Championships, MSK defending their titles against Killian Dane and Drake Maverick. MSK retained their belts here. I don't know if there's really much else to say about that, really, all things considered. Unless you guys had any thoughts on it.
Good. It is what it is.
Let's see here. Kushida wrestled for the Cruiserweight title and actually won the title from Santos Escobar.
She was in fucking shorts instead of jeans.
Yeah, this attire was an interesting change. I don't know if I like it yet, but he wrestled great, though.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, the match was good. And I've heard Kushida's actually been killing it lately on NXT. So if that's the case,
He should kill it anywhere he goes.
right. So, and that's the case, I got no problem with the title change.
I think it made the ladder match for Stand and Deliver seem kind of pointless.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it did actually.
How though? How? Enlighten me, please.
Why would they go through a ladder match and then just essentially your very next show put it on a different guy?
Because that just shows that, I mean,
Kushida was
Even though
deserving
we
and
do
could have
know
won.
that this is-
essentially.
not real, whatever you want to call it, it's still supposed to be simulated combat. And in that simulated combat, there are certain people that hold titles. And those titles could and should be won and lost at any moment.
And the fact that this was NXT's debut on Tuesday, it set the precedent that a title can change hands on a Tuesday show. So from that perspective, I get it.
And just because there was a ladder match, which is a big thing, I get it, trust me. And I mean, old boy did his, worked his ass off and whatnot. That doesn't mean that the title stops being defended right then and there. He's gonna have. It's not like they have. When's their next pay-per-view, or whatever they want to call it, their next takeover.
It's probably
closer to SummerSlam,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
So what? We're gonna wait that long for him to do a title? No, it just shows that he can lose it and win it at any given day.
Yeah.
I
Now-
get that,
now
but
if
it just seems that quick to take it off of him.
But in a way, though,
Why
he's never
put it on
had
him at
for a
all?
while? Just because
He had it for a while.
like, he was the interim champion.
Yeah.
I mean, so he's had it for a while. He lost it, and we move on. I mean, I kind of understand what you're saying. I get that. I mean,
But he
why
would
not
have lost
just
it at Stand and Deliver too if it wasn't for the interference. Why are you half naked?
Oh, it's okay.
So, but yeah, that just shows that anything can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. After this, I'm not sure how much in order we are here, but one of the bigger story points on this show was Roderick Strong quit NXT. Now, this is most likely storyline of some sort, but William Regal, it looked rather serious, and Roderick Strong's wife was there, and William Regal, they even told him, hey, if you ever want to come back, you're more than welcome. I don't know if it's a storyline driven or if there's something going on. I don't think he's going to the main roster yet.
He's going to SmackDown. If it was anything other than a storyline, it wouldn't have been on TV.
Yeah,
There's no way they would have let him just come and be like,
fire
I'll
on
see you guys
live
later.
TV.
I mean,
yeah, I'm out.
no, he's going to SmackDown. I don't see him
Yeah.
making Raw. If anybody's going to Raw, it'll be Adam Cole, but he's probably going to go to SmackDown.
All right. Well, I mean, if that's the case, that's cool. I just thought it was interesting. Just out of nowhere, Roderick. I thought it might be O'Reilly or
It wasn't out
Cole.
of nowhere. I mean, you got to think
yeah.
about it, like he's been caught in between this whole emotional spectrum between Cole and O'Reilly, and he's just like, I can't, so I'm leaving. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I did think it was interesting. They showed backstage footage after the match at Takeover of O'Reilly and Cole being gurneyed into the hospital, and they were both, or at least Cole was yelling at Riley on their way to the hospital rooms and stuff as they were being wheeled out of the ambulance. So I thought that was a nice little touch. I ain't gonna lie, I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that a la Rocky 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When
Oh yeah. But okay, after that, let's see here. I lost my place. Oh yeah, we had the debut of Frankie Monet with her dog. She interrupted a Raquel Gonzalez promo. And Raquel Gonzalez basically said she was going to either, I think, shove the dog up her backside or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, something to that effect. And after this happened, we had, Raquel got her, WrestleMania, accepted speech at the title sort of thing, celebrating her victory. And out comes Bianca Belair, the SmackDown champion, and Rhea Ripley, the Raw champion, to kind of celebrate together because they've got a history in NXT and things like that together. So it was a great
homecoming for him.
Yeah, it was a great moment. Then, of course, what was the main event? Let's see here. We also had a match with Leon Ruff and Isaiah Swerve Scott. I think there was a women's match in there I might have missed. The main events, though, had Dexter Lumis, Bronson Reed, Ember Moon, and Shotzi Blackheart versus The Way. A lot of this revolved around Indy Hartwell, flirting with Lumis by being knocked out and was waiting for Lumis to pick her up. And by the end of the night, he did and carried her to the back as she winked to the camera. And doing this sort of thing distracted Gargano enough to get the fall, or Bronson Reed got the fall over Gargano, I should say. So,
AKA 8 motherfuckers that don't mean shit. That's what this match was.
Alrighty, yeah. Got the thoughts on it? Okay. I don't know. We'll see how this goes, I suppose. I mean, Bronson Reed, I don't know if he's going to be taking the title off Gargano or not. But I mean, I wouldn't be
at some point. I'm sure.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that's the direction they're going. Where they're going with the ladies, I'm not totally sure just yet. They could have just been in here just to fill out the match. But all right, we're going to transition to our next segment here, where we're going to have our fun fact and trivia question segment. We're going to show the panel this video you're all about to see here, and we're going to react to the video that he sent in, and we're going to try to answer the question. We're also going to start this week keeping score of who gets the question correctly. And we're going to maybe build up to SummerSlam this year and maybe do it again for WrestleMania next year. And maybe the loser has to do something to kind of make up for the fact that they have not answered the questions correctly. So
trivia.
Yeah, the trivia. So we'll here's the video. We're going to react to it, and we'll let you guys know what we think about it. So here you go.
Hey everyone, hope you all enjoyed WrestleMania 37. I thought it was a really good show. There were a lot of great moments. Some down moments, but, every WrestleMania has it. One of the great moments was seeing AJ Styles accomplish the Grand Slam when he and Omos won the Raw Tag Team titles. Now, part of my fun fact today in question is going to involve the Triple Crown version of the Grand Slam. That, of course, being the World title, the Intercontinental title, and the World Tag titles, which the Raw Tag titles are the continuation of that lineage. Now, most of you know that the late great Hall of Famer Pedro Morales was the first man ever to achieve the Triple Crown. What you may not know is his tag title reign only lasted 1 day. That's because his tag team partner held another championship, either the World title or Intercontinental title, and company rules at the time did not allow a man to hold 2 championships at once. Now your question is, and you will get multiple choice, who was Pedro's tag team partner, and for extra credit, what title did he hold? Was it Bob Backlund, Bruno Sammartino, Pat Patterson, or Don Morocco? Hope you all have a great week and upcoming weekend, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. And please hit like and subscribe to the 3-Star Podcast, and I look forward to doing this again for you next week.
All right, so that was Mike this week with the fun fact trivia question. Any thoughts? I'm kind of stumped. I'm not gonna lie.
I say
I've got an idea.
Heavyweight title. Bruno in the heavyweight.
Bruno in the heavyweight. And who all did he say? He said Bruno, Bob Backlund,
Pedro Morales.
Pedro Morales, Pat Patterson.
Yeah, Pat Patterson. Those are your 4.
Okay.
No, Pedro is the person we're supposed to be guessing for.
Yeah, for his tag team partner.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was Bruno, Bob, Don Morocco.
That was it.
And I can't think of the 4th one.
No, Bruno. Yeah, Bruno, Bob, Don Morocco, and Bruno. Yeah, Bruno, Bob,
and
Don
Patterson.
Morocco, and Pat Patterson.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm saying Bruno with heavyweight.
Man.
I think Don Morocco and Intercontinental.
You both just took both of my answers. Because I was thinking either Bruno with the world or Morocco with the IC.
I think I'm gonna go with Morocco in the IC too. Could be completely wrong though. Does everybody?
What's your final answer, Damon?
Yeah.
Pedro and Bruno. Bruno with the world.
Pedro,
All right.
Okay, so that's all of our final answers.
Yep.
All right. Well, I just for full disclosure here, the reason why I don't know the answer this week is because Mike was kind enough to send the answer in a separate email. So I've not seen this yet. I just now opened the answer, so that allows me to play each week as well. He writes, Pedro's tag team championship partner was none other than World Heavyweight Champion, WWE World Champion Bob Backlund.
I was close.
Yeah,
I had the title right.
He said they defeated the Wild Samoans in 2 straight falls at a show called Showdown at the Shea, held in Shea Stadium, then home of the New York Mets on August 9th, 1980. The main event saw Bruno Sammartino defeat Larry Zbyszko in the famous cage match. Also, Andre the Giant scored a pinfall victory over a young up-and-coming piece of crap racist named Hulk Hogan. His words, not ours. The views and opinions, here, are not part of the podcast. As mentioned, the titles were relinquished the next day since Backlund was already world champion. 1 month later, the Samoans would regain the belts, defeating Rene Goulet and Tony Garea in a tournament final. It makes Mike wonder makes him wonder why they would bother booking the title change even more. So that's our.
They
lot
did that shit with the Rockers with Sean and Jannetty. They did that once.
What the fuck's wrong with you, Dark Chocolate? You all right?
Wait a minute. Did anybody get that right? I didn't even. I
got the title right, but
yeah, we'll make sure.
We got the title.
All right, so I guess we're all 0 for 1 here for this week.
0 points.
Yeah, 0 points.
I should get a half point.
He get a half point.
Well, he did say bonus for the title, right? I believe he said. So
yeah,
maybe we'll get a half point for that. Maybe we'll do that. If that's the case, Tony's up by half a point. So we'll go.
I think Damon, because Damon agreed with me.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, so we should both get a half a point.
I'll have to play the video back to make sure we get this all correctly scored. But yeah, that was a great segment again this week. All right, moving on to the rest of the shows this week before we wrap up the show. AEW Dynamite. We'll try to get through this pretty quick because I know some of our panelists ain't a big fan of the show.
Fucking AEW Ladyfinger. That's about.
To me, the match of the week, though, I'm not going to lie, was the Young Bucks and Pac and Phoenix. Well, it's just there's really
not what the fuck is wrong with you. Him in the fucking what? Just say it.
Yeah, come on with it, buddy.
Come on, man. What you
all right,
distracted?
Look, listen. So Miranda comes out here, and she can see the screen, but she can't really see it. So she's leaning hard. I'm like, what are you doing?
What happened? Did the titty pop out?
No, her titty didn't pop out. Like what? Like why would that even? Anyway, no.
Are you guys stubborn?
Yes. So she then she's looking at Tony, and she goes,
bruh.
She goes, why does it look like he's about to have 2 horns grow out the side of his fucking head?
All right, so let me explain this before we go any further. I have a receding hairline.
No, that bitch is retreating.
Motherfucker, I don't want to hear. Look, you know what? I may have a receding hairline, but at least I can grow a beard. Fuck
it is what it is.
Fuck you, Patches. Anyway,
keep that baby face real, baby.
At least he didn't call you Chubby Seamus or Chubby Sane.
My hair grows out. It does not grow down. And since I have declared that I have been, my whiteness has been gone since 1985. This is what I call my afro. My afro.
That's his afro.
So
respect the fro.
Anyways, but yes, my hair grows out. It does not grow down. So unless I keep it real trimmed up all the time, it looks like shit's growing out the side of my fucking head like horns. And yes, it doesn't help with my receding hairline.
Yo,
but
you should have. Her face though killed me. She was like.
That being said, AEW Dynamite kicked off with what I believe was the best match of the week. Young Bucks versus Pac and Phoenix for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Obviously, the Bucks retain here in, I think, a really good match. Granted, we have been very critical of the Bucks for using super kicks. Clearly.
How many?
How many?
Yes, how many super kicks?
I believe there was only 3 spots in this match that used them, if my math was correct. But I will say this: since they went heel this week, they went full blown heel. They come out.
But why? But why?
So they can have Super Bullet Club version 9.
Yeah, so they could join Kenny because of their friendship and family, like the Fast.
Okay, no bullshit. Because
I'm not saying the heel turn was executed well. I'm not arguing that point.
No, hey,
it
why you
wasn't.
guys?
Because you legit dropped the storyline where was it their dad or whatever?
Yeah, Dad got beat up by Jericho or MJF though. That wasn't Omega.
It doesn't matter. Like, why do you?
What is his dad?
Why
his dad has nothing to do with it?
But why is your impetus now? You just focusing on this? Like they legitimate said, like it was because they realized that they lost their edge or whatever. It's the same thing as when
They
Shawn
never
Michaels
had
lost
an
his
edge.
smile. And so they were like, you know, I'm gonna be with my friend, and then they turn heel. All right, cool.
That being said, though, they cut all the tassels off their gear, which is a small aesthetic. It's not a big deal. But they also played up the heel gimmick more in the ring. Like, every time they would do, like, a couple flips or something, instead of hitting a big flip move, they'd stop, slap a guy across the face, or rake a guy's back, or tease a super kick and not do it. So there were some subtle changes they were doing to play with the heel aspect. So I thought there was at least a little bit of credit to be given for that.
You said they cut their tassels off, though, but I did see old boy with them little crystal Cher things. It looked like Cher.
That could
had a headband with the crystals hanging on. Yeah, that's going to make you real intimidating.
Fine. But at the same time, they did all that flippy shit and all the super as heels.
Yeah, true.
They did it as heels and they did it as face. There's no difference between a heel and a face young buck. And by the way, these motherfuckers are far from young. All right? That's like calling the Hardy Boys boys. They're like fucking Jesus. R.I.P. Papa Hardy, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
The finish happened when one of the Bucks ripped the mask off Rey Fenix, and then, of course, they got a kick in to win the match due to the distraction of that. So, I mean, it's not a full-blown distraction finish, but it kind of was a distraction in a way by pulling the mask off. So, again, with the DQ finishes and wrestling nowadays.
Shit, they did. I forgot what paper it was. That one match where they did that on Penta. They ripped the mask off and he fell off trying to cover his face. So it's not. It's really nothing new for a young buck.
That's what happens when you let Tony Khan book shit.
Fair enough.
Well, we'll get into more in the booking in the main event. I got some criticism for that as the AEW guy on this panel. So stay tuned for that. The next segment had MJF offering Mike Tyson a blank check in order to kind of sway his, calling of the match as special enforcer later that evening. Tyson ripped it up, ate it, and then spit it out at MJF, which
was he awake this week?
Yeah, he was actually awake.
He was asleep.
Right.
Listen.
Yeah.
If there's one motherfucker legitimately, like, you leave Tyson alone. I didn't find him entertaining. I listen to his podcast. It's actually really good. And it's fucking hilarious. But I don't see the point of having Mike Tyson in it.
Well, yeah.
No, he's fucking Sleepy Mike.
Yeah, to me...
They ain't sleepy.
Well, I'll get into Mike Tyson a little bit once we get into the match. He was involved in here a little bit. But the next segment had Chris Jericho explaining that he and Mike Tyson made amends after the Inner Circle decided to go babyface and change their ways. And the first person he called to make amends with was Tyson. So at least they tried to explain why Tyson, after all those weeks of feuding with Jericho, came back out of nowhere and tried to help Jericho. So at least they tried. Not a very good effort. Because to me, they got Mike to come in last week and this week because he had time to come out and do it, and they were trying to pop a rating on Wednesday night when they had no competition. That's what this was for.
What could he have to offer besides a bottle of vodka and
some weed.
Fucking bad Fozzy CD?
And some weed.
Jesus.
That's all Mike cares about.
Just some random matches we had on the show. Jade Cargill defeated Red Velvet. Solid match, but nothing to write home about. Anthony Ogogo debuted in a squash match, and the match ended.
What?
Who?
Anthony. Okay. When QT Marshall broke away from the Nightmare Family, the factory, he took some of the younger talent from that faction, and one of the guys' names was Anthony Ogogo, and I guess he was like a boxer or something of that sort. But anyway, he had a squash match against the guy. And he punched him in the gut, and that was the end of the match.
Who the fuck greenlit that name?
I agree.
Who greenlit that name?
I don't know.
Tony Khan.
Did you just say a man won a wrestling match by punching another dude in the stomach?
In the gut, and then the referee stopped it because he punched him so hard. Agreed. Not very good.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my bad.
We just destroyed Monday Night Raw.
I'm going to destroy this too. I agree.
Like, for real.
I agree.
First,
If
the
this
Young
shit-
Bucks threatened to get off Twitter because you might hurt my feelings and we're heels. And now someone got the match stopped because he got punched too hard.
Bruh. Like, we just ripped
WWE
apart
has
Raw.
stopped matches for being
If
kicked
you-
in the quarter too much too.
Listen, if this shit would have happened on Raw, we'd still be talking about it right now. So, like, fam.
I'm not saying it was good.
my
I'm
God.
agreeing with you. Yeah.
That's
So
trash.
not impressed.
First of all,
Not impressed.
his name is Anthony Ogogo. Like,
Yeah.
what's the gimmick?
I guess he's a fighter or a
Boxer?
boxer.
He hits people hard in the stomach.
He's a fucking boxer.
Mike Tyson,
Name
but
it.
younger, I
You
guess.
missed me with that shit. You could have came up with something else.
Yeah.
Call him Tyson
Why?
Jr. or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's trash, man.
Oh my god!
Not AEW's finest hour. I'm not gonna lie.
Why don't they
That
just
is-
get that
that
guy
is-
Superhuman from fucking the YouTube channel and have him go jump on some light tubes from some juggalos and juggalettes,
Ooh.
and then it
My
could be a whole
juggalos,
fucking.
juggalos.
Don't try this at home.
Fuck this shit.
We also
You call Lil Donnie, he ain't doing nothing.
Might as well call fucking New Jack in.
we also had Chris Statlander
I wish they
return.
would. He'd kill everybody.
We had Chris
All right,
Statlander.
go ahead, all right,
Well,
go
sorry.
ahead.
We had Chris Statlander return in a squash match. She is now a member of the Best Friends faction with the Orange Cassidy and Trent and Chucky T.
Lil Donnie, you ain't a fan of Lil Donnie?
Whatever, it's a thing. Then we also had a promo from Britt Baker. They're clearly setting her up to get more wins under her belt to challenge for the AEW Women's Title against Hikaru Shida.
Who's even the women's champion? I fucking
Some
forget.
Japanese girl.
Hikaru Shida. She's
Oh,
had
Sheeta still got it?
Tony. Clearly not a fan.
No, nobody.
Well, this show was not their best show. I'm not gonna lie. Miro.
This is the show they had no competition. This show should have been.
And
their show.
we're going to get into this, but this show had over 1 million viewers for only granted they had no competition, but NXT only had 800,000. So in that case,
Yeah, because you're still gonna have people who are
Yeah.
so hardcore about this shit, they're gonna watch it, even though it's shit.
yeah. But they also got the NXT viewers from Wednesday night to continue to watch AEW because that was what the NXT and AEW were doing combined on Wednesday night almost, and AEW
What was the
got
better show?
this week, match wise, probably NXT outside of the first match with the Young Bucks. And we're going to get into the main event here again too. I'm going to criticize that, so I'd probably go NXT this week.
So you telling me some man got falcon punched in the stomach?
We're past that now on the next match here.
Hit him with that hot.
No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not done with that yet.
Did he say falcon punch before he did it?
I don't think so.
Fucking
But then, I'm
punch.
done. Like, it don't matter.
Miro had a promo talking about he was moving on with or without Kip Sabian. So it appears they're going to position him for a push without the dead weight, so to speak, in the story. And let's see here. We had Jericho versus Dax Harwood. This match, I'm not going to criticize too much for the fact that I'm going to criticize the main event. Tyson was on the outside as a special enforcer, and he legit punched Cash Wheeler, looked like, in the face. That looked incredible. I'm not going to lie. I think he hit him with the forearm, but he hit it so hard and so good, it looked legit. So that was good. The end of the match obviously saw the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle all get involved, and Jericho defeated Dax Harwood. But in this case, I'm not going to criticize it like I am the main event because they are setting up blood and guts between the two factions, so that made sense to build that story to a degree. But that's about as good as I could say on that.
Listen to me. I don't give a shit how old he is. I'm not letting Mike Tyson punch me in the fucking face.
No. Now, again, I don't know if he did,
No.
but it looked like he hit him hard.
Like,
I
even
don't
if it's not a
care.
punch, I'm not letting the man take a swing at me.
Listen at me. Even if it's a work punch, I'm not letting him punch me.
No.
It looked way better than last week when he was throwing them Shane McMahon potatoes on Sean Spears. This one looked like he connected hard. But
Look, man, he's gonna do it. They're all gonna go have White Claws with Tony Khan afterwards and be cool and shit, bro.
This man said white claw.
now, my criticism of this Mike Tyson thing, to me, I understand maybe you only had a couple days with Tyson and you're trying to pop a rating on the new night without competition. But if you're going to bring in Tyson as a special enforcer, why don't you book it to where the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle are building to blood and guts and he's a special enforcer for that match? That would be the way I would do it.
Because Tony Khan's booking.
Well, we could go back and forth about Vince's booking too, but yes, they're both at times not great.
No, because Vince would have
Do we
booked it
remember
for the
what
pay
Vince
per
did
view.
with Mike Tyson?
Not always Vince wouldn't have. Not always.
Do you remember what Vince
With
did
With
for
fucking
Mike
Mike,
Tyson?
though, with Tyson, oh, he would have saved that shit for the pay per view.
Well, maybe with
He
Tyson,
made-
sure.
He paid Mike $2 million, come in and light the world on fire. Him and Stone Cold. Arguably, that is what strapped the rocket on Stone Cold, other than the 316 thing. Vince was extremely smart with.
23 years ago.
But here's the thing.
We had this conversation
Okay.
the last time.
Let
Yeah.
me I'm just going to say this real quick. If I'm Vince McMahon and I haven't had any real competition since 2001 when I bought my competition, why am I going to care? I make millions of dollars,
Agreed.
billions of dollars. I don't have to compete with anybody. AEW is obviously not a threat because he let Jericho come on Stone Cold's podcast. So why am I going to care? Yeah, I'm going to have fucking unicorns floating around eating fucking hot dogs out of a goddamn container while people do jumping jacks off of a cage because I don't have to worry. If Vince really wanted to sit down and make magic again, he wouldn't a heartbeat, and don't think twice that he wouldn't. Tony Khan, in 10, 15 years, if he has that long, maybe he'll be great. Don't know, but
we'll see.
he's a rookie.
Oh, yeah.
And he
Agreed.
shouldn't be booking.
Well,
I mean, on the topic of that Jericho on Broken Skull, to agree with you, Tony, they let him talk about AEW more than you would who you would view as actual competition.
now we're going to get more
Like,
into Broken
if-
Skull here in a minute.
If Vince legitimately thought AEW was a threat, there's no way, even if he did let Jericho on, there's no way they would have let him to end the damn thing with Jericho holding the fucking world title for AEW. There's no way they would have ended
And
it like
Vince
that.
flew him in on the private WWE jet.
Well,
Yeah,
that-
Jericho posted a picture of that.
But that doesn't mean
on
he flew in.
Instagram.
That doesn't mean he flew in on that jet. They're in the same area in Florida. They could have just been at the airport and saw the jet, decided to take a picture and troll people. That doesn't mean he flew in on it, though.
Get out of here, man. You can't be that fucking naive.
I'm
No.
just come on, but you can't assume that either. I mean, you can't. They're all based in
I
Florida
don't-
right now.
I don't like coincidences.
I mean, it's
It was
possible.
to promote. I don't like. It's not a coincidence that Jet was there when Jericho was there at the airport.
No, I mean, it's very. I mean, it's very well possible. I'm just saying we don't
If,
know.
even if
And
you
they're
didn't
not-
fly him
and
in
they're
on
not
it,
parking
it was
that
there
jet.
for. It was there to hype the episode.
No,
he's
that's
not-
possible.
First of all, Vince's jet isn't going to be parked on some random ass runway. That's a private
that
fucking
too.
runway, Chief. For real.
No, that could be a good point, but I'm just saying.
That's a private fucking runway. And I bet you he got chauffeured there in a fucking limousine paid for by Vince McMahon.
Yeah, very well could be.
Yeah.
All right. Well, since
I mean, for God's sakes, the man shared a fucking brownie with Jericho.
we'll get more into the.
Ooh.
I want to save the Broken Skull thing for a little bit later because we're going to do a little bit more on that after the shows here to wrap it up.
Okay.
Yo, my man went and got some pizza for real. For real.
Well, Tony's just like, all right. The main event saw Matt Hardy versus Darby Allin for the TNT title. All right, this is where I'm really going to criticize AEW. The main event between Hardy and Darby themselves, the match was good with just those two guys. But unlike the previous match with Jericho and Harwood, where they're building a feud between the two factions for blood and guts, this match again delved into multiple guys running out of the back, which included Sting, the entire House Hardy, Lance Archer, Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page. All these guys really don't have a whole lot to do with each other outside of the fact that the House Hardy got involved and some of the baby faces ran out. That's all that really made any sense to me. This was a cluster F, and I can't understand for the life of me what they were trying to do with this. And but you know, it's just a match to showcase Darby, you know, retaining his title, and hopefully, you know, Matt Hardy's okay with it after his dad passed away this week. But yeah, to me, it just made no sense. I don't know.
I don't get it.
It wasn't the greatest main event for sure.
Why? And listen, this is a criticism that AEW does. The thing AEW does a lot. It's like thing too. There's a lot of these run-ins.
Yeah,
Why? And a lot of their matches.
too many.
You know, they get them classic dusty finishes. Why?
Who
Why
got
do you need
classic
them to be-
dusty finishes?
Well, I'm talking about the run-in spots and shit.
Man, Dusty didn't book shit like that.
No, that's not what I'm. That's not what I was.
More often than
Okay, what
not,
are you saying, sir?
more often than not, a lot of AEW
always
matches
these-
do end in actual winners and losers from the match itself. But it seems like lately, since they've got all these extra factions, which we talked about, they're
Why?
shoehorning all these guys in. And again, to Tony's credit, Tony Khan is not necessarily booking this lately as good as he was at the beginning of AEW's run. So I understand the criticisms, and yeah, they need to step it up. I mean, absolutely.
Yeah, because if they don't watch it, they're gonna go way of 2000 WCW and then
Look,
death to the
I
company.
said that shit before. I said this starting to feel like way too much WCW.
Well, Tony,
Yeah,
Dude,
and not the good WCW.
right.
Cody and the Bucks are Hall, Nash, and Hogan, and Tony Khan is Eric Bischoff.
Bro.
I mean,
Where do you put Omega though?
And AEW in general is the NWO. And they got everybody jumping ship and joining, and it's going to go down in flames.
yeah, I mean that's a very good possibility. I hope that's not the case. I think we all agree we'd like to see AEW do well.
Yes, I would love to
Right.
see more wrestling, and I would love for a company to do well to give Vince that reason to do something, more exciting. But not like this.
No.
Like this ain't it, Chief.
No, not
You
lately.
keep pulling shit like this, like on some real shit. Like what? He's not gonna do anything because he doesn't need to.
No, if you don't watch out, Vince is gonna buy your fucking company too.
Oh
Yeah.
On the whole, I thought the
And you'll end up
show.
on Peacock.
yeah, and
Yeah.
fuck your Jaguar money.
I mean, on the
You know what I'm
whole, I
saying?
thought the show had some good moments, but there's a little bit more bad than good on this one. I'm afraid to say. All right, moving on to our final show of the week before we get into a little bit of Broken Skull, and then we're going to talk a few WWE cuts right quick. SmackDown started tonight. We had new commentators actually for Raw and SmackDown. Raw had ESPN's Adman Burke, and Corey Graves moved over there to join Byron Saxton. SmackDown now has Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, former punter of the Indianapolis Colts.
Yo, Pat McAfee is hilarious.
Yeah.
But
The best
I think
thing
it's-
WWE has right now.
yeah, I was about to say that's one of the best things they got going. Like Pat he kills it.
From what I saw him
You
on the
know?
show tonight, he actually did a good job with Michael Cole.
He was standing up during if you've seen where the during parts of the main event, he's standing up like he's into it. You know what I'm saying? He brings so much energy to that table. I enjoy it. And
He does,
I,
but he has to. He's gonna have to dial that back, man, because there's a fine line between bringing energy and being a mark.
Yeah, that's what my thought was. It's fine for your first night, first time on commentary. I'm assuming full time.
No, it's not his first time on commentary either.
Well,
At first
On the main
time,
roster.
I get what Damon's saying,
Yeah.
but I mean, still, he's got to calm it down, man.
yeah, because you're gonna start getting the fans saying, "Oh, this man, he's just a fan who got lucky
But
enough to
They
get."
need to watch NXT then because he did.
Yeah,
he did a
let's
good
say
job.
because if you go back to what he was doing on NXT, it started out he was the backroom dude. He was doing the watch-alongs, during the big pay-per-views when they have those pre-show shits where people
Right.
watch along and shit. Pat McAfee was part of that, and then he ended up on NXT. Started this whole storyline with the Undisputed Era and shit. Like Pat was solid as fuck through that.
He's not bad in the ring either.
No, and I hope that SmackDown uses him in the ring maybe a little bit. Well, eventually, maybe not right
Yeah,
away.
and I'm not saying that he's bad at any of that stuff. Or I'm just saying,
But I
needs
get
to
what you're
dial it
saying.
back.
Yeah.
That's all. When you're commentating, you need to have a certain. I mean,
But his input was solid tonight.
no,
Yeah.
that's
I mean, if he went more towards the Mauro Ranallo route,
No, Morrow had there's times where Morrow got to be too much.
They announced this week too. Mauro Ranallo will be doing Impact Rebellion, where he will be commentating the Kenny Omega Rich Swann title for title match too. So nice to see Robert
that'll be
Ranallo,
interesting.
which we all know I think is
That'll
going
put
to
asses
lead
in the
to.
seats.
That's going to be Omega winning the Impact title most likely as well, because I don't think AEW is
Yeah.
going to get the title to.
Why are they doing that?
I'm guessing just kind of cross promote a little bit. I don't know.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. It really hasn't led to much as much as I thought it would when they started doing it.
What do you mean? Because Impact is still Impact. You got
Yeah.
these guys trying to help you out, but then you still do that stupid ass casino shit, man.
The only thing I can think of is Kenny Omega's kind of got this gimmick to where he's kind of on a quest to collect all the belts or a lot of belts. So
He's to prove
Well,
he
there's
is
only one
the
left.
best.
So what the Hardy Boys were doing before they went back to WWE.
I guess yeah.
Yes.
That's stupid.
Well, we'll see how it goes, but yeah, that was Mauro Ranallo. In regards to Adnan Virk on Raw, I think he did okay for the fact it's the first night he's ever, commentated in a wrestling show. I think ever.
Didn't he fuck something up though?
He might have, but to his credit though, when he started the show, he even flat out openly admitted to the audience that this is his first night. He's probably not going to get everything right, and he didn't. But all things considered, I think he did an okay job for his first night. So I'll give him a chance.
But does anybody know if he was an actual wrestling fan? Can he?
That I don't know. He didn't sound like he knew a lot of the moves.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That seems to be the problem with so many things, and that goes. I think goes across all these promotions. I'm not saying you have to have, be a lifelong fan and know who's won every title and every promotion, but bring a fucking wrestling fan in. Right now, one of the things that I read, the reason why Billie Kay was one of the reasons why she was dropped, other than their finances, was that Kevin Dunn, the fucking producer, who's horrible and couldn't fucking tell you the difference between a wristwatch and a wrist lock, fucking said he's seen her going no further. She hit the glass ceiling. That dude is a fucking detriment to professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Him and Bruce.
He's at this point next to Bruce Pritchard. Kevin Dunn's Vince's fucking right or left hand.
They're his yes men. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are the new Stooges.
He's just as bad as Russo was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Dunn is, and he's the fucking cause of all the fucking jump cuts and the cuts.
And another thing too is they don't have, like before Vince did the writing. They don't have that anymore. They have
fucking soap opera writers.
But I mean,
but he was one of them. At least you had someone, you know what I'm saying? But now you got guys who write sitcoms.
Sitcoms, soap opera
producers and writers.
And
that's Vince's fault because he's always wanted WWE to be entertainment, to be television, and it should be wrestling at the forefront. But instead of having guys like Jim Cornette, Pat Patterson, Arn Anderson, instead of these guys being writers and producers, they get actual fucking Hollywood writers and producers that know nothing about wrestling.
And it comes across very clear. The writers know jack shit about wrestling.
And when it comes to putting Adnan Virk on the desk, that is more of a WWE being at fault than it is Adnan Virk, because he shouldn't be in that position at all if he doesn't know what he's talking about. But he probably will get better, I think. We'll see.
Too. Also, USA calls a lot of the shots.
True.
Oh yeah.
And that's to me is like, you don't do that for any other TV show. Like, let me run my shit. Like, let me do what wrestling is, and that's not what he's been doing for like the last few years.
And that's the thing. Like, Mauro was fine because he had a history in like the
wrestling,
sport.
MMA, boxing.
Yeah, he's done that kind of stuff before. But from how it went with whatever the fuck his name is, it just comes across as like he's just some guy that was working at like ESPN or something, and they like, oh, let's add him to the commentary desk to add legitimacy to our product.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
Right. Well, anyway, getting back to SmackDown, the show opened up with Roman Reigns cutting a promo, again declaring victory at Mania, kind of like everybody does after the big show. Cesaro, though, came down to the ring, stepped up to Roman, and when Cesaro went to get a mic, Roman just walked away. Just didn't even acknowledge him.
It sums up Cesaro's career at this point in WWE.
Yeah.
Ultimate dick move, though.
And right after that,
it fits Roman's character.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
It does, but it also sums up how WWE's treated Cesaro. It's like,
although this show, they were hyping up Cesaro, so I will give them credit for that.
The minute he walked away from Cesaro, he should have grabbed that motherfucker by the arm and spun him around and demanded his attention.
Well, if he wasn't going for the microphone, I think he maybe would have. But when he went to grab the mic, Roman walked off. Yeah.
I think it'll lead to that. Cesaro either demanding Roman's attention or getting his attention some fucking how. I don't think this is just like something where it's a one and done. I know how it ended, but I think that's all smoke and mirrors.
After that, I call it right a couple weeks ago or last week. Said start the build with Cesaro right after Mania.
Yeah, maybe it seems to me they may be going that way at Backlash, but we'll see what they do. Right after this, we had a backstage segment where Cesaro demanded a match or asked for a match with Roman with Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville appeared to overstep Adam Pearce and teasing impossible takeovers GM when she said she would ask Roman and see if they could make the match. So
they've seemed to have put Sonya in like an authority figure.
So I think what's going to be is Sonya's going to run SmackDown and Adam Pearce will go to Raw.
That's very possible. They may be teasing a split of that degree, or it could just be Sonya Takeover. We'll just have to wait and see. They announced that instead of Roman, though, Roman had agreed to allow Jey Uso to take his place in this match against Cesaro in the main event. So they announced that for later.
It fits Roman's character.
Yeah, yeah.
Why should he have to do it?
In that case, yeah. Then we had Rey Mysterio versus Otis. He defeated him with a springboard roll-up off the second rope. He used his weight against him. Whatever. It wasn't anything to write home about necessarily.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. After that, we had Sami Zayn come down to the ring talking about more conspiracy stuff. Kevin Owens come down to the ring. They had an impromptu WrestleMania rematch, which, again, just like Monday Night Raw, Sami Zayn did everything he could to get away from Kevin Owens and ran up the ramp to get the intentional count out.
But that fits Sami's character.
At least that fits a little more than the baby faces on Raw. I will give them that.
Yeah, but Jesus Christ.
It's still dumb. It's still really dumb.
Booking.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
I mean, I'll give you that. But at least Kevin went down and got his ass.
Yeah, he got down and got him, threw him back in the ring and gave him a stunner for his efforts. So he did get away completely. But the match was just, a nothing, no.
The old nothing burger.
Yeah, basically. After that, we had Apollo Crews in the back, and all this was basically to say that, hey, here is my new, Commander Aziz is his name, the former Dabu Kato who helped him win the title at WrestleMania.
That's what everybody wanted.
Yeah.
Just to have something to do who it was. So, okay.
Yeah. Also, throughout the night, they did it at least 3 times. They showed the footage of Cesaro at WrestleMania. Granted, I'll give WWE credit for putting over Cesaro here. Great. We like that. However, all they kept doing this entire time was showing that spin he did with Seth Rollins on his shoulder with no hands, which was a great spot. Don't mind. But
and then showed him falling on his ass.
Right, but at the same time, while promoting this, they continued to call this move the unidentified flying opponent. I kid you not, that's the terminology they came up with it. So they were building that as a big Cesaro move.
What was it not?
Legit just called it the UFO.
Yeah, the UFO. But the O stands for opponent. So there is that. I wouldn't,
Again, probably have comedy writers write your shit.
Yeah. After that, we had, we had Sasha, I'm sorry. We had the Street Profits and Bianca Belair come out. Again, Bianca, thankful for the victory at WrestleMania and all this stuff. She then said that the Street Profits need to get some tag team gold later tonight. That way Montez and Bianca can both be champions together and all that nonsense. After that,
how happy Montez was for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've seen the picture of the aftermath. I think he went out there.
He was, he was over the moon for her. And
yeah.
She deserves
it. She deserves it, absolutely. After this, we had a backstage segment with Sasha Banks where she showed her side where she got whipped with the hair, still bruised. And of course, she got mad about that, didn't even answer her question, and just stormed off, which brought in Bayley, who said that it's now time for her to go to get her title back as well. So I guess we'll see where that goes for both of them.
Triple threat at Backlash?
Possibly. Very possible. After that, we had the aforementioned tag team championships on SmackDown with Street Profits against Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, or Bobby Roode, whatever he's going by now.
Robert.
Dolph and Robert Roode retained the titles after a blind tag where Dolph hit the zigzag on Montez Ford for the win. I'm a little shocked by that. I kind of thought maybe they were going to go the Street Profits get the belts.
The feel-good story.
Right, with Bianca Belair, maybe. But
if you do this right, it'll pay off in the end.
Yeah, and Dolph and Roode could use the win. I'm not going to lie. So
I don't like their name.
Yeah. What was it again?
What's their name?
Dirty Dogs.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't like that.
They're not really calling that on the entrance or anything.
Commentary?
Their jackets and stuff say it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, commentary they called them Dirty Dogs a couple times.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't like that name.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they don't like Brandon.
Yeah, whatever. Give a fuck what they like.
I don't know. It might be the right booking decision when it comes, like I said, building the heel team. And maybe you can continue this feud, but I hate if you're doing that though. I hate that you gave away the match already. Save it for.
Not really. I mean, you're gonna if this is the story you're gonna tell, you gotta.
But why would I want to see it now? They just beat Street Profits clean outside of a blind tag.
Eric's right at that point.
I guess
that's like when they did Hogan and oh fuck it, dude. It's just why give it away? That could have easily been set up. Okay, you're gonna have a match. and then they just beat the shit out of the Street Profits, and they don't even have a match.
What's the saying? Why give it away for free when you can make money?
Yeah, I guess if you'd have just like before the match even started, just took them both out. I guess
Something they did, but now that they beat them clean, there's really no reason.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess maybe not.
Yeah, we'll see what they do. They may not be going that. They may not be going that right. So we'll see. Next, we had Natalya versus Shayna Baszler. Natalya beat her with a roll up. It's not.
I don't care about this.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I just hate it for Shayna Baszler personally. They're not doing right by her in my eyes.
I hate the women's tag for all of them right now. It's just trash.
Well, this is a singles match, but
I know, but
okay.
it's revolving around these fucking belts and like.
Yeah, they like to do that thing where they bring in the tag champs on every show, and I agree. All right. After that, we had the main event with Jey Uso versus Cesaro. Again, both guys, solid. Of course, the finish I wasn't a fan of because again it was a DQ finish where Seth Rollins ran in, hit Cesaro in the middle of his swing, and he basically ended the show by screaming, "It's not over, it's Cesaro." So that is apparently maybe they aren't building Cesaro for Roman Reigns just yet. Maybe they're going to do the Rollins rematch at Mania Backlash.
They should have let Cesaro win that match and then have Rollins come in while he's celebrating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But if it is a slow build, I mean, maybe I just don't think they're actually going to push Cesaro like they started the show doing. I got a feeling that he's not going to challenge.
Give it a couple weeks and he'll be old news.
Yeah, maybe that's possible.
You got nobody else right now.
Yeah,
and Cesaro's but Cesaro's a perfect candidate.
Yeah, and if
I agree, but it's how many times have they stopped and started his push for him?
Yeah. All right, so that was the week of wrestling. Before we move on from wrestling,
we forgot one thing.
Yeah,
that Tony, why is your face like that?
What's that?
Why is Tony's face like that?
Tony's frozen.
Oh. Yeah.
But we forgot the Alexa Bliss segment on Raw.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. With the new doll.
Yeah. Essentially, kind of explaining what happened at Mania and that match happened.
That doll creepy as hell.
Fuck the doll.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck that doll. Hashtag
no.
fuck that doll.
And of course, Bray come out like nothing's wrong, talking about it's a new me, and we're going to have
Yeah. Fuck that doll.
Yeah.
I don't care about that.
But because I can't remember. It's Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the only thing I did is they kind of explained why she did what she did at Raw or at Mania.
Yeah.
She's found someone stronger, I think. Yeah. I'm not sure. But it was
essentially, yes.
I found a new friend, Lily.
Is that what the name was? Lily?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Because a lot of people are talking about, I was like, why would you not have Aleister Black be the new friend? He has a tattoo of Lilith on him.
It might be. You don't know that.
That's just what that's what I've seen people on Twitter say. So take that what you will.
Yeah, fair enough.
I know that doll was creepy as fuck. Oh shit.
He'll be back. He'll jump back in. All right. Well, moving on from that, just a couple other quick wrestling things, and then we'll move on to what we're going to end the show with tonight. WWE made some cuts this week. A year after they made cuts after the COVID pandemic started.
A year to the day.
To the day, they released names such as Samoa Joe, Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, Kalisto, Tucker, Wesley Blake, Chelsea Green, Mickie James, and Mojo Rawley. Samoa Joe obviously is the biggest name that stands out here. You could say AEW bound, wherever. I don't necessarily think so.
I don't think Joe's going to AEW.
Maybe not.
No.
I mean, if he does, it's going to be Impact or TNA of old real quick with all these names from TNA back in the day. That's the only thing that concerns me.
Look, like we were talking about before when we first heard the shit, we don't know the extent of Joe's injury. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So there may be a reason why they cut him. Like, it wasn't just because, all right, you're fired, you're shit, we don't like you. I don't think that's the case. I think Joe got cut because, again, we don't know the extent of his actual injury. So instead of keeping him, they were like, all right, look, we'll just cut our losses. As far as Peyton Royce and what was the other one?
Billie Kay.
Billie Kay. It is what it is with them.
Well, like you said earlier, Kevin Dunn's his opinion on Billie Kay was she's gone as far as she can go.
I think Peyton Royce had some potential, but
I found her entertaining.
Yeah,
not gonna hold.
Yeah,
but
and Billie Kay as the Iconics. I thought they had some, especially in NXT, they had some moments. Main roster, not well, you can say that about a lot of talent that's been brought up. But if they maybe go to AEW or wherever else. They could be an addition to a roster of women that may not be up to snuff yet, maybe a little bit. They still need some work, not going to lie. And Joe, if he goes to AEW, could work out depending on how you use him. He's not going to be Sting, I think, where you don't do as much with him in the ring if he's clear.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like I said before, my problem with that is you already have too many guys there already that you're trying to push for these spots. Joe will just be another dude that they'll have.
Yeah.
And then what?
Yeah.
Look how long it took them to do something with Morrow. You know?
Who?
Again, AEW.
AEW don't have Morrow.
With Morrow. Fucking
Rusev.
Oh, Rusev. Okay.
I
Gotcha.
don't know.
They haven't done anything with him yet. They did Arcade Mania or whatever the fuck that match was.
Yeah.
Fucking dude, look. Here's the thing. I was listening to, everybody knows, and probably thinks this is why I feel the way I do, but I was listening to Cornette's podcast. Big Cornette guy. Brian Last, his co-host or the host of the show or whatever you want to call him, he said it right. Why would you not want to go to AEW? 2 days a week at most, doing it on a beach. You're getting paid millions and millions of dollars to do not a damn thing. Go out there and do the dumbest shit you could think of that WWE would not allow you. You don't have to stress and worry about remembering lines or anything else like that. It's just you going down there and having fun and making as much money as you can. So why wouldn't you want to go?
It's a good point.
I mean,
Fair.
I wouldn't.
I still wouldn't.
But-
I mean,
Again, I give a shit about wrestling.
Right. I still think from storylines, most of the time they book better. This week notwithstanding, there's been some mistakes, and there's been more than one week.
Who books
mistake.
better?
What?
Who books better?
AEW at times.
So AEW, I could get a blind chimp with a crayon and a handful of shit that could tell a better story than AEW. Jesus Christ.
There are certain things I think they do better than
I've
AEW,
seen-
but that's just my opinion.
what's the best storyline in AEW right now?
Probably the Pinnacle. and
No,
Inner Circle.
you're right. I understand.
Probably. I mean, it's
Fuck that
still
up from the
young.
get-go.
It's still young. but-
They already got their.
And that's a fact.
It's just
Best
no. There's
storyline
no
right now
reason
in
to. It's like you said with
single guy.
No. Did we just get done talking about that? Just the Dirty Dogs match, right? Or they beat the Street Profits clean, right? Okay, so there's really no reason you want to see that match anymore. The Culmination or whatever the hell they're calling themselves beat the shit out of Jericho's group. Jericho's group got their heat back right the next week. What's the point?
Couple weeks
There's no
later.
payoff now.
But
It was the very next week. They beat the shit out of him.
2 weeks. 2 weeks later.
Jericho beat him up.
Yeah.
Okay,
2 weeks,
still,
1 week,
I mean, what
it's
are you gonna
still
do now?
irrelevant. It didn't. The payback.
Well,
Well,
it's going to be
didn't
gang
come out of
warfare.
pay-per-view.
It should have been
No.
them getting their hands on him just almost there and something cutting them off, or Jericho just about to get MJF and he gets the shit, just something, and then it leads up to where they finally get their hands on him in this blood and guts match. But instead, they already fucking blew their load all over the place by having them 1 week, 2 weeks, whatever the fuck it is. Already it's done. It's over. Who gives a shit?
Fair
You've
enough.
already seen Jericho and their group get their shit back.
I mean, fair enough. And
Exactly.
the thing I do like about
So
discussing.
there goes that.
Well,
and
the
now fucking. I mean, that's
No, the thing I like about this discussion, though, is that it helps me see different things that I wouldn't have previously thought. So I enjoy the back and forth between us, especially when it comes to WWE and AEW. There's a lot of things that it opens my eyes to. So I love the fact that we're doing this for that reason alone. So that's good.
WWE sucks too. I'm not going to sit here and defend them because they do. I
Right.
mean, they do. But like I said earlier too, I do 100% believe that if Vince decided to just stand up and say, "Okay, we're going to do it," he'd be rocking and rolling again.
Right.
Where I don't
And he's
feel
got
Tony
the
Khan
talent to
has
do
that.
that anyway.
Maybe in the future.
Break it up a bit there, Tony.
If I was Tony Khan, sorry, I was just going to say, if I was Tony Khan, the first thing I would do is show reruns of AEW for the next month, cut his roster down to the people that could actually do some shit, and then I would just start picking out some of the best talent from MLW, Mexico, New Japan, ROH, anybody that could be taken away with money, I would stack that roster and start over.
Now, there are definitely talks of AEW getting a second show. Do you think that would be a help with the current size roster they have, or more of a detriment?
As far as the roster goes,
That's
it would
what I'm
help.
saying. Cut the roster down.
Like, if you don't cut down the roster, having 2 shows, it could help just because you could have, kind of like Raw and SmackDown. You could have one set. You can have one guy be Raw, other guy, big guy like Roman, SmackDown. It would help break up everything. It wouldn't be a just repetitive thing weekly. But again, it could also end up like
Early Raw.
It could, again, Raw SmackDown during the Super Show fucking era, where SmackDown was essentially just a clip show,
Right.
or rematches from Raw.
Right.
So there's that you could run into, or another good example, Nitro and Thunder.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Hey, that's the thing too. Like, okay, so you do 2 shows. Who's gonna be your main star? You got 1 title.
Yeah, you're gonna have to create another world title.
I don't think. See, that's the thing I don't like about Raw and SmackDown. Let them go on both shows if you're going to do that.
Oh, yeah, exactly. What did Ric Flair do all those years?
Yeah.
He went to the territories.
Yeah.
He went around, and NWA had 1 champion. Now there might have been like your U.S. heavyweight champion who was like your head guy, say in Pennsylvania. But when Ric Flair came to town, there was only 1 champion, and there was really only one in the way. So just have your guy go back and forth, man.
They've got the promotion title. And
build up challengers on each show. You could do that.
Yeah. That's my biggest criticism of WWE, or one of them, is the fact they've got too many belts.
Well, yeah. Well, like what Tony's, I think what I'm understanding what Tony's saying is like the territories would have, because I didn't grow up in the territory days. They would have like essentially a promotional title, kind of. Like the WWE title?
Yeah, like they would have a guy in each territory that was being groomed for when the heavyweight champion came to town. And they would do a few matches here or there, whether it be, and then it would all lead up to that one big house show when, when everybody, you're sitting 20,000 deep back then, selling out, fucking selling the show out. And Ric Flair's getting his ass kicked, and this baby face has got some fire, and it looks like he's going to do it. And then Ric Flair moves it out, whether it's, handful of tights or something like that, and Rick moves on down the line. Now that baby face gets a stick rub, even though he didn't beat Rick. But exactly. So, I mean, like I said, man, there's just so many things that you could do. It's just not. It really is just a bunch of kids playing wrestling. The best way to describe it is backyard wrestling on a millionaire's budget.
Wow.
Man.
I never really thought about it like that.
I mean, that's one way of looking at it. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, and to each their own. People like one thing, other people like the other. I mean, that's cool. I'm glad people are at least, and it seems like the ratings on Tuesday and Wednesday are decent. When both shows split, now they're not on the same night, so that's encouraging. I think they have room for improvement on both cases. But AEW is only 600. Let's see. I think 800,000 behind Raw this week, but on a normal week they'd only be 600,000 behind Raw. So it'd be interesting to see if either show could maybe compete with the main flagship show for WWE going forward.
Regardless of how shit Raw
right now, no.
Well, not right now. No.
The thing is, too, you got to think about it. They're going to get the overflow from NXT not being there regardless. Yeah. So, can we honestly say that those extra viewers are from people that want to see? Or have a real interest, or because we like wrestling and there's I don't have to choose between which show I watch.
It's possible.
Yeah. Essentially that's what
that same could be said for NXT too. So I'm not thinking that.
Because
there's saying really.
Because I was watching Steven Larson's podcast earlier this week, and they were talking about the numbers, and from how he said it, there's like only 150,000 difference.
Where are they getting that?
I guess. I have no idea.
Because it was clearly a 400,000 difference from the numbers I saw. But
I'm sure there's people that like you, Eric, who would do it at the same time. But there's also people that would actually choose.
Yeah, and it's probably the same people watching both now for sure.
But you just seem like they're, at least for the, I don't know.
Yeah, well, we'll see how they do. I mean, I'm just glad to see the numbers as they were this week, but we'll see where they go moving forward. So that will just about wrap it up for this evening for the main full podcast. Before we go, though, we do want to promote a couple things. Next week, we are going to be doing a review for Mortal Kombat. We'll probably watch that together and do a full review of that. Maybe spoiler, maybe non-spoiler. We'll discuss it, and we'll talk about that. Also, Tony, do you want to promote our guest coming on the show in 2 weeks?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that again. That is Thomas Adams, 5-star Thomas Adams, King of Bun Style Thomas Adams, Mr. Salem, Ohio himself, former RAPW heavyweight champion. Good kid, man. He's real solid. He's a big video game nerd, big football guy. Very excited to have him on as our first guest. It'll be fun.
No
Me and Brandon know him from way back, and it'll be just a good time to kind of reminisce.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is. That's for sure. He takes
Real
some
Cleveland
shit,
fan.
but he's a solid fan.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks, definitely a show you guys don't want to miss.
Absolutely.
That'd be good.
All right. Well,
I'm excited for Bouncer too.
Well, that'll do us for this week's full pod. Keep in mind, we will be doing some trailer reactions and this week, and we'll also be putting up clips of this show as we go through the week here to give you guys a little bit more content throughout the week instead of a whole week off like we did this week. And we'll continue to do this every week going forward, I think, with some few changes coming, like we said earlier, with maybe the name of the show or whatnot, maybe some rebranding going on. We'll get all that sorted out. But you can always find us on Twitter at our individual Twitters. Also, continue to search for us right now on 3-Star Pod on Facebook, at 3-Star Podcast 1 on Twitter. And until our next podcast next week, everybody, take care.